Want a break from the ads? Upgrade now to Spotify Premium and enjoy ad-free music.
So, I finally found myself the time to be doing the intervallo for Meru. Or as one might say, I found time to do the interval for Meru. So let's just jump into it. Just like Philip the fuck ass. Been a long time coming. Hello Lupin to welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Any updates? Oh, yeah, it looks good, thank you. Do I have to raise the music? It feels a little quiet. No, wait for this one. We should go about it like... No, Heathcliff's been in the vanguard for too long. I should put him back and let him... Dante! Huh? Oh, sorry, did you say something? I provided you an answer to your question, but you exhibited no observable response. Is the center's combat performance deteriorating beyond manageable parameters? No, things aren't that bad, but it's just hard to focus on one conversation when I'm trying to support battles happening in completely different places at once. Welcome in, Timmy. I hope you're doing good. On top of that, radio shopping chatters started to get a little distracting. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello! Hello! A few days after we entered N-Corp's district. Yeah, we doing Limbussy. And it's because of the new intervallo. It's not voice acted, so you know you get to hear your favorite cow do all the voices. And actually, I'm getting quite close to finishing up all of the Dante's notes. I'm quite close. Good enough to upload? Yes. Voice actor Meyer. Let's see, how many do I have? Let's find out. If I go to properties, it'll tell me how much is in the file. Let's see, 153 files, man. And 153, at least 153 minutes of the Vermisi talking. The bus pulled over in the back streets of N-Corp to take care of the distortion case. This contract was supposed to be handled jointly with the LCD team, but distortion suddenly started cropping up all over an area of the back streets called Butter Street, without any coherent pattern. No obvious point of origin or route of spread. Nothing convenient like that, and I had no choice but to split the sinners into several groups and send them out. I need to raise the volume, I think, for the BGM. It's not loud enough for my notes. Alright, that should be alright. Otis, Ishmael, Sinclair, Don Quixote, Yisang, and Mariso were on their way to rendezvous with the LCD team. Heathcliff, Gregor, and Hong Lu were suppressing distortions that had showed up from other directions. And with our onboard stock scrap down to the bottom, Rudy and Ryoshu, who were done with their share of suppression work, were put in charge of buying supplies for the bus. Don't you ever want to be a little German kid whose mother allowed him to buy a Coke, but he only had enough for a cheap cola? But they can drink cola and play trios. A cheap cola? What's the difference? A sheep? Wait, what do you mean? What's the difference between... Oh, cheap cola as in not Coca-Cola, but like a discount. Well, I don't know about you, but like cheap cola and Coca-Cola, they taste the exact same. Like both, it's just acid. You're just drinking battery acid. That is like Coca-Cola's flavor. You remember the whole debacle when Coca-Cola tried to change the flavor? And it did taste better, but the issue was that they had a core demographic. Their core demographic that liked drinking battery acid was upset that they no longer could drink battery acid. I loved her iHeartRadio. As for Faust, she decided to stay behind with me on the bus. I wanted to get through the consultation sessions I'd been putting off, and thought I might as well get myself some much-needed practice with handling the new Golden Bow power I'd acquired. To reiterate, there aren't no issues requiring special concern regarding Faust. I only drink Pepsi. I mainly drink Dr. Pepper. It is true that Faust had, on several recent occasions, expressed dissatisfaction with a certain Faust. However, those instances should be classified as a mere personal grievance. I mean, that's good if that's all there is to it, but this was not the first time Faust had seemed unlike herself. There had been times before when she spent far longer alone than usual, lost in thought, moments she could not produce immediate answers to questions from the other sinners to me. Dr. Pepper tastes like cherry, and yeah, like, even when he isn't cherry flavored, it's like, yeah, it's caramel cherry, it's yummers. Could it be you can't access the gazelle shaft? May I ask your basis for that inference? Because you're acting a lot like you did back on the warp train. It appears there remains occasions on which you are still capable of surprising Faust, Dante. So I was right? You really are cut off from the gazelle shaft? That was not intended as a confirmation of your conjecture. Maybe she's saying that while she can technically access the gazelle shaft. May as well be that she can't. I'm not copying all that. I'm not copying all that. I know, Timmy. It's quite hard to speak Faust, isn't it, Timmy? I wish I couldn't ask more and get to the bottom of it, but the way she was sidestepping the subject told me that prying wouldn't give me any further insight. They talk too much, don't they, Timmy? No, Timmy. No, they listen. No, it's a visual novel. Of course, they talk a lot. What do you want from them, Timmy? Right. I won't press you if you don't want to talk about it. Your reserve is appreciated. Shall we move on? It's a visual novel. Yeah. Yeah, Olympus, like almost every gacha game is a visual novel. But like Olympus Company is most definitely a visual novel. But with like yeah, it is a visual novel. Because there's I don't know, what even is the classification of a visual novel, really? Technically any video game that has cutscenes can be considered like a visual novel. Then again though, well actually no, it's more like the gameplay is minimal. And the story is like more, the story and writing is more the focus. I think that's the difference between a visual novel and like an actual game. Like Gears of War, the gameplay is the most important part, and the story is just kind of there, but it's enjoyable. Whereas Olympus Company, the story is like the main focus. Same thing with the writing. Instead of rage baiting you, I just have you questioning the definition of a visual novel. Oh, and you're trying to rage bait me? I mean, there is game stuff, but the game isn't really there's not much of a game, so yeah, it's visual novel. Yes, your consultation is the next agenda. After cross-referencing the records pertaining to the recent events in the House of Spiders, it would appear that memories concerning the individuals designated as Sora and Bran currently remain only with you, Dante. As such, should the influence of Ryoshu and her sword lead to further omissions in the official records, the manager will be responsible for supplementing the necessary information. Yeah, not the first time I was the only one left with intact memories, huh? That's right. Despite Cade Corp's memory wipe procedure, Catherine's erasure by the Golden Bow's power, and Aryashiki severing people from existence, I was the only one who remembered what had transpired. But ironically enough, the memories I had prior to swapping my head with this clock still showed no sign of returning. Why want my own memories to come back, though? Is it because of this clockhead? Why does Faust talk like an arrogant robot? Well, because she is. So Faust's whole gimmick is that so Faust's entire gimmick is that she wants to know everything there is about the city, and to do that, she made this thing called the Gazelle Shaft, where she can talk to like every other universe of Faust in existence. But our universe Faust kind of had that until like recently, and basically the other Faust from the other universes think this Faust is stupid, hence why they call her Stupid Faust. So she's called Stupid Faust by the other Fausts that exist. But otherwise though, the Fausts that are in good, the Fausts from every universe that are in good like favor with each other, constantly share information with each other. Poor Stupid Faust!
Doesn't work undone.
Sounds like a useless power. Well, I mean, yeah, usually Faust does not even use it. At least this Faust does not even use it to help us out. Ever. Whatever knowledge she has sucks. And only after, like, we deal with the problem, Faust is like, yes, actually, here is some information about the thing that just happened. Wow, that's great, Faust! That's great! You really are stupid, huh? You know, that actually would have been helpful before we started suffering, but okay. You're a Ray Zero fan, I get it, I understand. I like Ray Zero Season 4 too. Speculation based on your experience with the bus team thus far will not meaningfully contribute to the recovery of your former memories, manager. She's doing it for the plot. Yes. She's well, I mean, it's also probably because that Faust is not given access to the knowledge. Because again, she's like the other Faust, again, she's called Stupid Faust by the other Faust. They don't like her. So they probably don't ever give her information to help us because they just see her as a leech. But nonetheless, though, she did make a bus that eats people. And by the bus eating people, it uses like their blood and whatnot as fuel. And again, she also, every single universe of Faust has made a gazelle shaft, so yeah, they share knowledge if they want to. She made a bus that eats people. Yes, we are actually currently on the bus that currently eats people for fuel. We are currently on it. We have been on it since Canto number 1. Inductive reasoning conducted from memories with gaps. After all, is bound to have structural limitations. Bonky would serve as an adequate analog. Bonky? Yes, Bonky. Receiving feed and increasing in body mass alone would provide it with no meaningful basis for identifying the purpose of its rearing. Even at the terminal stage, when exposed to kitchen instruments and the heat of the stove, its limited experience would prove inadequate to constitute an understanding of its ultimate fate and purpose. Good job doing your exams! We'll get some stupid R thing that needs all my data. Wow, let's go! Dante is hot. That's why he's always on fire. Likewise, the ultimate answer to your doubts can be attained from the whole of the experience that you will have accumulated what the fuck are you talking about, Faust? Likewise, the ultimate answer to your doubts can only be attained from the whole of the experience that you will have accumulated at the terminus of your entire journey. That is your allotted mission. Because treasure awaits at the end of the road, at the end of hell. At least Dante's not a liar, pants on fire. Faust talks like ChatGPT wants to talk. Yeah, except if you ask ChatGPT to count to 1 million in the female voice, it won't, but it will in the male voice. And that treasure will give me back my memories in my head, also. Indeed, at the end of the road, you will be able to engrave your aspect. I still have no idea exactly what aspect means, or even whether it's an object, but if I know one thing, it's that the me from before all this began had wanted it badly, obsessively, desperately. Well, hey, welcome in, Ubandua. Head? It's more like an instinctive knowledge, but with my memories gone, that feeling, however strong it is, does not change the fact that it's just another word with no discernible mental image. Yeah, so Dante's whole entire gimmick is that he has a claw kid because, a corporation chopped it off, and then put this new one on, so that way he can, like, heal the sinners. And you're not gonna tell me what it actually is, are you? The aspect. What it means or why I want it so much? If it remains a piece of information that must be disclosed to you, then no. I am unable to tell you. Huh? Pay it no mind. You are still following your star acceptably. Please concentrate on the journey. More importantly, have you grown accustomed to that incomplete power? Current observation suggests you have yet to arrive at that level. Well, I've gotten pretty used to focusing on one place at a time. But keeping track of several places at once is still a bit rough. Woof. I can't trigger to moan twice in that short span of time. The oldest team is doing well in combat even without my direct supervision. And Herodias' team is shopping and not engaging in a battle at the moment. Taking my mind off them would prove much easier. That wouldn't give me the much needed practice, so I'm doing my best to keep an eye on every sinner's status. Sufficient familiarity should result in substantial tactical value. You would be able to cast a wider net when information gathering and employ previously unavailable tactical patterns. Right. And also be able to tell when it's a bad time to call someone in too. Even as I continue talking with Faust, I make sure not to stop observing the places where each group is and what they're doing. Yup, pulling Heathcliff to the rear is the right call. Without seeing injuries, his team's still doing pretty well even without my directions. As for Rhodia, wait, did she just stuff all of the pastries and bread she bought into her pockets? How'd she manage that with a huge baguette? Wee baguette! An Otis group. Let's see. Looks like they joined up with the LCD team without any issues. LCD. That guy over there must be... Hang on. Faust. There's a dude I've seen before, but he seems a bit... different from what I remember. Could you specify the issue? I'm not monitoring the situation right now. We should probably join up with them too. Let's end the consultation here. This is rather precipitous, Dante. If the incident of a serious nature, perhaps a request for support from the LCC. No, it's not an incident. Though I wouldn't say it's not serious. Baguette, can you say specify again? Specify. Rendezvous. Man, isn't this funny how rendezvous is spelled rendezvous, but you're not supposed to say it that way. Thank you, Cowie. Were you edging? You need to hear me specify? Is that a special word to you? Does that have great meaning? This is going from bad to worse, really. Dante seems to be tied up helping the other groups. Notice command calls have been working out well enough. I'll give her that. We managed to hold the line better than expected. But we're definitely starting to feel the strain. You should pronounce it funny. Well, I might have said specify at first, but I didn't realize, I didn't think about it. Why are you waving your hand over? Arm and hand signals? Oh, what signals? What's waving the arm sideways even supposed to mean? You don't know? It's scatter. Damn it, so scatter. That was close. It almost got flattened. Damn it. Even rookies with nothing but the most rudimentary of military training would have recognized a hand signal that basic. Well, we're not all trained soldiers here, are we? Verily, the flourish of a single hand doth indeed make a boast of a civic elegance. Yet when thou suddenly wavest thine arm about, clenching or unclenching thy hand in that mystical fashion, on his only tongue tell, forsooth, I am less perfect of understanding what thou meanest to say. Why is Otis so mean? Military woman, military tomboy. Also, I think she's I think actually I don't know if she's supposed to be Odysseus. You know the Odyssey. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if Otis is actually supposed to be Otis from the Odyssey, or if Otis is supposed to be more like Odysseus. I mean, Odysseus in the Odyssey, he was a prick, so it actually would make sense if, even though Otis has her name Otis, and that's supposed to be the narrator, it would kind of actually be more fitting that, you know, she has the you know, maybe it's just Otis has the personality of Odysseus, or maybe Otis from like the Odyssey was also a dick. I don't know. I've never read it. Military tomboy. Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of also kind of plays a part. To think that all of the personnel on the team only swampy had the discipline to interpret a basic field signal. I only picked it up during my sailing days. And realistically speaking, you should really expect ordinary people like the others to understand professional military signals. This is unacceptable! For all the operations all of you have been deployed under my lead, you're all still ignorant when it comes to nonverbal signals. How do you think even Dante would know those signals? Yep. Might as well be splitting hairs. Literally. Let us appease our agitated hearts and follow Miss Oates' instructions. We should disperse and withdraw. Oh shit, what should I do for Urza? Megaton landing! Hey, pretty cool, huh? Let's face it, I know how to make one heck of an entrance. Are you just supposed to clean up the distortions upstairs? Huh? Oh, finito a million years ago. You guys are taking forever, so I figured I'd take a peek and lend a hand. You're welcome. Ishmael has too much hair. I've decided. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare talk shit about my waifu. Don't you dare. Okay, thing. Big Mire in the middle of the street? Yeah. Yeah. I'll eat you. I'll vor you. I'll suck your blood. I mean your dick. I mean your blood. I'll suck your blood if you talk more shit about Best Girl. That's too big away. Wow, rude. I'm only going away so I can talk, so we can see what Isag is saying. Split by your thundering descent, the floors form and shape are now crushed beyond mending. Sunken deep enough to be likened to the inhabitants of a wellspring. Don't you worry your head about it. That's all after teams to take care of. Anyway, that should be all of them, right? The force of your landing neutralized the last of the distortions outside of the building. Great! Can you check on the distortion piece face and clothes? Their faces are all segmented. Makes my skin crawl. Not a pleasant sight, Af. As for their attire, this one appears to be a sweeper, and that one yonder bears the attire of an ordinary fixer. And this distortion I landed on, probably a local resident, judging by the clothes. Did any of you happen to see anything nearby bursting with a big popping flash? Nay, not once. Okie dokie. You know what? Then let's all head upstairs. This suppression request is kind of a pain. We'll need to put together a nice, neat plan before we start poking it too hard. A plan? Thou sayest thou? How? How? Was this not a mere matter of slaying distortions? Were they stunned? Huh? Wait. Did nobody brief you? This has often been the structure of our assignments. We were given instructions, we perform them, and only afterward do we begin to perceive the nature and contour of the task to which we have committed our hands. Really? Huh. Oh. Guess every department has its own way of doing things. No big deal. I'll explain everything once we're upstairs. Oh, by the way! You didn't get to meet the whole team last time, did you? Only our new girl. This time, that dude, I mean, Mr. Bamboo and Kim's also here, so... He's okay now? Huh? Sure he is! You'll be surprised once you see just how okay he is now. But last time you said he was still under treatment. To be precise, I believe Miss Angdu stated his mind is yet to regain its former tranquility. Uh-huh. That? You'll get it once you see him. I feel like we'll just end up having the same conversation twice if I say anything about it right now. What a threatening thing to say, Urza. Why is the how cursive? Oh, sorry. I was supposed to get. I think with the cursive at the end, that's supposed to be like singing or a moaning. I don't remember. That's what the tilde at the end means, I think. You have arrived. It's blinding. It's so bright. The midday sun is pointing like crazy. Do not sing or moan, please. Okay. Yet the warm tick of the sunbeam is rather agreeable. No, this is not sunlight, because unlike this, there is more to the sunshine than its warmth. Then, what exactly is this light? Why is this thing on again? It's bright enough to fry my eyeballs! Apologies, Lady Urza. I am yet to be accustomed to this machine. This is my first time laying a hand upon the complicated workings of such a contraption. It activated on its own accord, and I have yet to discover the method by which it may be silenced. That's why I told you to leave it alone. Fiddle with that thing. You don't understand. Usually ends with something. Nor you. Broken. Nothing good comes of it, I tell you. But Mentor, Lady Moses had instructed me that in every moment and event, clues are hidden under the veil of one's surroundings and must be examined with care. Yes, and that only works if you're savvy about the neck. Hang on, did you just say Mentor? I had not yet been afforded the proper opportunity to introduce him to you. This here is the esteemed leader of the Blade lineage, who is all but a master under whom I have apprenticed. Do you really have to dress up like that? I told you! I only took on the role because there wasn't anyone else around to take the job. Switch! Where's the switch? Gotcha! What? What? Why is he over there? Huh? Goodness. Known as Bamboo-Headed Kim. Yes, that's me. Guess I should say pleased to meet you, folks. Oh my gosh, it's Bamboo-Headed Kim. I'm gonna try and go for like a druggy. Druggy voice. Damn, okay, damn, they're giving us a lot of dialogue scenes, huh? Okay, so more often than not, my first impressions are prone to change. And Bamboo-Headed Kim, I remember, was a man who drowned in his own fathoms, blaming himself for his powerlessness with a listless, heavy voice. That, however, had been while he was distorted and sunken into himself, so I figured his original personality might be somewhat different. But this is not just somewhat. His personality isn't even in the same ballpark as my expectations. You're telling me this guy here is Bamboo-Headed Kim? Yup, we double-checked with Urza, and she said he really is the same guy. Ballpark balls? I don't understand. What do you mean he ballpark? Whoa! That fire in your head's not hot at all? That's neat stuff. Hey, welcome in, Relol. I hope you're doing good. Okay, can we check again? Just in case. I really can't wrap my head around the fact that this is the sullen, serious man we'd fought. Just look what he's doing! He's rubbing my face all over like he's checking out some kind of mantelpiece ornament. Lots of ticking and talking going on. That's supposed to sound like them talking to you folks, huh? Further confirmation would be redundant, Dante. This individual is conclusively identical to the one designated as Bamboo-Headed Kim. I've got no idea what you folks are so suspicious about. Angdu, just what exactly have you been telling people out there about me? They're all staring like they've seen a ghost. I told them you are a gallant and formidable warrior, Mentor. They don't look like they've heard the most flattering things about me. Faust is a robot voice. You want me? Hell yeah. Welcome to Vampire Army Reload. Moo. There. Don't you hear it? The faint undercurrent of the disappointment, the ticking. Ugh. I also told them that you are a man of few words, but with much affection for the followers under your command. Undo. Yes, Mentor? That's a complete and utter lie. And a few words is definitely not something you can say about a guy who's as talkative as me. Don't you think? Yet I spoke no falsehood. All your conduct is rather shallow and perhaps less refined for a leader of an organization. You are much more refined and taciturn when conversing with those unfamiliar to you, are you not? No matter who one may be, one is bound to inspire either approval or disapproval from those around him, so I refrain from mentioning any truths that might invite the latter. To even hint at anything that might tarnish the reputation of my master would not be unlike spitting on his name and mine by extension. Holy words. That was a lot of words. Angdu, I don't usually you don't talk that much. Also, why is Angdu's picture? Why is it like so small and so blurry? Is she did they not like reposition the camera for her, but why is it blurry? Also, what do you guys think about the new Angdu? Her having bangs or no bangs? I mean, at least with bangs though, it doesn't look like she has a giant 5-head. Angdu is very scary. I don't know. Actually, I don't know, man. I think I could like. I see her as a mother. There's like no threatening aura to her for me. I simply had no reason to put on airs in front of my own folks. In any case, so you can't see anything if I block the squirt? Do tell. How many fingers am I holding up? Those are not my eyes, you know?
Your own folks, huh? And you have already acknowledged and accepted that you now belong to Olympus Company.
Why didst thou not pay a visit to the LCE? Verily, when one's mind is plagued by the absence of tranquility, venturing forth into the open air and touch field of grass, cleareth the storm with a heart. An asset.
An asset of the company is expected to act in the company's interest. Yet for whatever reason, I didn't see you fighting on the field of battle during Operation Spider Pyre.
Today's lesson I learned I had mommy issues. Don't worry, don't we all? We all have mommy issues in our own way. Some are issues slightly greater or lesser than others.
You will have to account for your absence to the mission.
At least for me, my mommy issues is that I would never ever want to date my mother. You know how supposedly people are like, oh, you know, men want to date their mother, women want to date their father. Or like personality-wise, I'm like, no, I think I'm good. I don't think I would want to date anyone that has a personality of my mother or my father. Otis addressed Kim as though she were conducting a formal investigation. Every word flat and hard. Oh? It was obvious she was not about to let her guard down anytime soon. What mission? Oh, that one. Kim finally seemed inclined to assume a more serious disposition. He stopped peering into my face and turned toward Otis, although his hand was still on my head. All right. Clearly, there's some disconnect in expectations here. Listen here, you. I'm really not all about that hard, bothersome look. You know what I mean? The real disconnect was between his stoic expression and the words coming out of his mouth. What? So let's talk about the kind of fellow I am. Meet the resident layabout who's forced to do his job with a frown, too. I might add, only when he's got absolutely no other choice. I'm really not some big shot Angdu. I'm really not some big shot Angdu's apparently been promoting me as, folks. And I'd very much like to stop getting roped into stuff that keeps putting my life on the line. This is crazy talk for the guy that went into the library. Who hasn't a move that called yield my flesh to claim thy bones. Fine. Then why did you join the LCD in the first place if you'd rather be unemployed? No, never mind. They probably force you to stay. You catch on quick. First they spread this nonsense about distortions and all, then force hired me, calling me a company-owned resource or whatever. The other day, they were again on about, what's his name? Gonabao? Yes, they invited me on a tour to another department to listen on some important presentation. And I accepted. I thought it would be a fine opportunity to broaden my perspective. Angdu, dear, there are times where your commitment to duty shines brighter than the sun. I find that attitude so dazzling, I have to squint when I'm looking at you. Who knows? Maybe that's why I'm wearing this bamboo hat, to shade my eyes from your utter brilliance. Do you mean to say that you are in need of a shield to protect your eyes? The Angdu, what? I think Angdu has the tism. Lady Urza, might I submit a request for a pair of sunglasses for my mint? What is that expression? Why is it... Bro's trying to hold it in. Only if it's not too much of an imposition of budget, that is. That right there, that's what I keep telling you not to do. You can't just say yes to every silly thing he says and turn to his supply request. Small expenses add up to a lot, you know. Gotta save up everything you can to the piggy bank while you still can. We'll end up broke. Is there truly no room for reconsideration? I swear, man. Last in Narvalo. Why does PM do this? Last in Narvalo, there was not as much comedy. I can't say I dislike it, but you know, every time that happens, I'm so surprised. It's the same thing with Intervalla 8.5 with Hong Lu. It starts off serious, but then it just comes across like a sitcom where the entire joke is Dante has severe autism and can never read the room. Now it's Ongdu doing this. Now it's Ongdu with autism.
No means no. Then pray make the purchase for me. I shall cover the cost myself. No can... Wait, what? My poor mentor is in a state of great discomfort. It had possessed neither the wisdom nor the knowledge to navigate the silver tongue of merchants in a maze of stalls to locate the very best item. So I must beg this favor of you. You give me a frickin' headache, girl. I am aware that you and yours are no strangers to such dealings. There is no one else I can trust to complete such a procurement with the swiftness of the wind. You know what? Never mind. What I said, I'll just get you what you want. You heard the gentle lady, mentor. Your suffering shall soon be alleviated. Right. My apologies for interrupting you amid conversation. Pray, continue.
Why are you talking like Don now? This is another sitcom in Travallo. Oh, word.
You had reached the part where they invited you to tour another department.
No sooner Ongdu's words left her lips than her eyes glinted with something I couldn't really put my finger on. It was a strange intensity that sent a chill down my spine.
Yeah. So that day, I was just gonna relax here, watch some TV.
Well, we're not here for showing up to work today, I guess.
Let's say there's a debt to be repaid.
At least you understand that we are indeed indebted to the company.
Yeah. Suppose I do.
Kim's gaze lingered on Ongdu's prosthetic arms as he answered, "Oh wait, she has prosthetic arms? I didn't even know that." That's probably why she's actually survived for so long. "Oh, Miss Ongdu, your arms." Only after following Kim's gaze did Sinclair seem to notice Ongdu's brand new prosthetic arms. She didn't have prosthetic arms before. Actually, you didn't. Yeah, they framed it so you wouldn't see that either, huh? I wonder why she got the prosthetic arms. The last time we saw her, Ongdu had lost both of her arms. Oh. I forgot about that. And I remembered Urza asking her to sit down and choose what type of prosthetic she wanted. Those arms are probably it. It's not just the arms. Even her clothes are different now. That sword.
I had these arms fitted anew as soon as the operation was concluded.
The gracious host and one of the LCD's teams had prepared them in advance. I wonder. I don't even remember who took her arms. I don't think it was Callisto. I don't think she wasn't in the attack in the spider nest either. I don't even remember who took her arms. With evident satisfaction, Ongdu held up her dark metallic wrists as if to showcase them. The components fixed along her arms clicked and rattled, unfolding for a moment before neatly folding back into place. Oh, such graceful smoothness! What a machine articulation! 'Tis as though I am beholding the marvelous prosthetics of the illustrious Siegfried himself! Yep. Showcase would have gotten lackluster without the trademark reaction.
Those
are strikingly similar to Schwartz Industries and 7 lineup.
Your N7 is a reference to Mass Effect?
But I thought that model was discontinued.
Nah, not theirs. It's one of the prototypes deployed by the LCD's
deciphering? Yeah, I don't know why. I kept thinking it was something else. Matt took her arms. Oh! Huh. Yeah, that does not ring a bell at all. I think I might have skimmed over that. Now I'm interested to re-go through the canto just to find out when that happened. Isn't that interesting? The man with one arm took Ongdu's, both of Ongdu's arms.
And they put him on her for trial. Doubt you'll find another like them. They're based on technology spun from distortions.
Oh, I see. For a brief moment, Sinclair's eyes lit up as if he had glimpsed something that brought him back to a memory. Then just as quickly he fell silent, whatever he wanted to say next catching in his chest. Oh, poor Sinclair. Think about his family and how Kroger killed them all.
Does something trouble you, Master Sinclair?
I don't ever heard it being this respectful either. Huh. It wasn't hard to understand what struck the tender memory for Sinclair, and why it cast a shadow over his face. But... Sorry. Just reminded me of something from a long time ago. My dad used to work with prosthetics before he passed away. I thought this was the exact same model I saw back then.
It appears I lack tact. These arms have stirred a painful memory within you. For that I apologize.
It's alright. I'm fine now. Sinclair's voice still carried a faint tremor, but beneath it there was a firmness that had not been there before. He really had grown a great deal.
You can thank yours Shirley for picking the sword. I was there with her. I did inform Lady Urza that any blade that could serve as a weapon would suffice. But she insisted on browsing the goods. I dare say I was given the opportunity to lay my eyes on every type of sword I could ever hope to see in this life, walking through the workshop street that day. Oh, please, girl. We walked for just 4 hours. That's nothing.
While everyone was distracted, talking, taking in Ongdu's new outfit and equipment, Kim had quietly slipped away from the crowd and crouched down a corner. He was rummaging through things scattered on the floor, picking them up. Was he pocketing them? Anyway, what is this place supposed to be? Where are all these things?
It's basically a wreck now. But there's strobes and cloth in that cloth backdrop over there. Maybe it used to be a photo studio.
Oh, that could explain why there are so many photos stuck around the place. Probably. Thing definitely looks like a camera. At least. Sinclair picked up a small cylindrical object and turned it over in his hands, studying it with curiosity. What do you suppose this is? A battery, maybe? There's some kind of strip inside. Let me just pull it out.
No, that's...
Otis shouted a sharp warning at Sinclair as if she had realized something. But Mariso's hand shot out before she could even finish, clasping over Sinclair's wrist before the strip could be pulled out. What? What did I do? Exposure to sunlight damages these objects. I already pulled a little bit out, though! It can be rewound. Carefully rotate the rigid section in the center. I am currently blocking the sunlight from reaching the exposed section. Damages of no concern. Oh, okay. You mean this one, right? This is the part that rotates? Nope, it went back in. With a quiet nod, Mariso took the object from Sinclair's hand.
It seems to be the film reel. There is something right on the outside. Experiment number 4.
It appears to be a compact roll for film camera.
You seem to have handled one before.
Yes. Mariso's answer came without any further explanation. But the way he adjusted the camera on the table certainly didn't look like that of a first-timer.
They once received a report containing photographs taken on film cameras during the war. Film rolls used by N-Corp are particularly difficult to falsify. They were often used to collect intelligence during secret operations. The film, it fixes light directly onto the medium, from what I've heard.
Peculiar expression flashed across Urza's face as she regarded Otis. Perhaps it was the mention of war that caught her attention.
Anyway, we've managed to regroup in one piece. Let's get with a plan to deal with these distortions, guys. Where shall we begin?
Then, in the next breath, she returned her usually bubbly self and steered the conversation away from the subject. Yeah, Urza was I remember that. Moses and Urza were in the war.
Both Urza and I, we are both still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves.
For all who are unfamiliarly herky disposition, Urza, too, may be carrying traumatic memories, every bit as devastating as Gregor's. Does there yet remain aught deserving illumination? Huh? Yeah. Wait. You're right. Haven't we cleaned up the distortion already? Ow! Ow! What did I do? Did I drink too much caffeine? Bro, my heart felt like someone stabbed my heart, bro. I couldn't feel any more traces of a distortion nearby. And it didn't seem like any of the other sinner teams elsewhere were actively engaged in battle at the moment either.
Dante is asking whether the distortion suppression has not, in fact, already been concluded. Oh, not yet. These people we just fought now? They only got caught up in the distortion. They didn't actually distort themselves. We haven't even gotten close to the distortion's inflection point yet.
Inflection point?
Anywho, finding an inflection point without the team leader around is gonna take some time. Maybe it won't be too bad with your help.
Urza swept her eyes around the room with a look of frustration, as though she had just been handed a puzzle box with half the pieces missing. Again, more knowledge that we don't know about, and she doesn't feel like want to explain it, anyway.
By an inflection point, are you referring to the point of on a graph in which the directionality of its curvature changes?
Calling to mind the present context, it may less be a mathematical term and more of a specialized polyseme referring to the point at which distortion occurs. The motive, intent, or indeed, the point in which inflection of the mind occurs.
Yep, that's about right. That's the kind of inflection point I was talking about. So in our department, we use that term to mean the source of a distortion, the inflector, or cause behind it. Stuff like that. You know, distortion's hard to treat if you don't know where the core cause. Treat the symptoms you see on the surface all you like, but if you never found the root cause, the distortion's never getting solved. Though, I guess you guys never really had to look for that kind of stuff, huh? Your boss clock opens a door into the femmes of whatever, right?
Why are people lighting fireworks? It's June 14th. I don't understand. Why are people lighting fireworks? It's like 20 days away from like the 4th of July. How do people even have access to fireworks right now, man? I don't know about you, but that's going on. And like the only reason I care, other than the fact that it's like making the loud baby noise, is that my dog does not like fireworks and he starts scratching my legs. And there's nothing you can do to coax him. And the only thing I really can do is grab a very specific chair, sit in the very specific chair, and just hope he calmed down his own, because the very specific chair he can't scratch me on.
You mean Dungeon of the Fathoms? Yup, that. That's the one! From where we're standing, distortions are really high maintenance, time-consuming headaches. It's one thing to somehow manage to locate the inflection point, but curing it is another thing. If you guys can just march straight into someone's heart, knock the snot out of everything in there, and then, ta-da! Patient ready for discharge. That's how it works, right? Not gonna lie, I was so jealous when I heard about it. I almost bit my sleeve off.
Verily, I thought your team would set about resolving distortions once the foe was vanquished, as we are wont. What? As we are wont to do. Was that not what the? Huh? I think it's supposed to be want. As we are wont to do. I mean, with like the fireworks, it almost has me under the suspicion that they're not fireworks. But if they weren't fireworks, then I would have heard sirens. Or screams. Damn, someone's went off. What's going on for a while? You guys, I bet you can't even hear that.
Of course not! Why would anyone come to us with a distortion suppression request if it were that simple in the first place? But yeah, most of the time, peeps are to brute force approach. Try brute force approaches to it first. And when things go south, They send requests to the company or to our detective's office.
That means the client this time must have been...
Bingo!
No, wait, hold on.
Bingo! Apparently, the residents of Buddy Street had all chipped in to commission all kinds of agencies, like the ZY and the combat specialized fixer offices, but none of them could actually do things right, and the job got passed on to us. Meaning the distortion phenomena related to this kind of photograph is still occurring unchecked somewhere in the streets. Exactly. That's why we gotta find something. Anything that might count as a clue.
Urza gazed down at the people lying on the floor with a complicated expression. Neat ash gray suits and the logo on the collar of their uniform and briefcase. Hey, isn't that N-Corp's logo? Come to think of it, wasn't Meru I was once employed by N-Corp. What? You used to work with those people? Yeah, he didn't mention that he used to work at N-Corp. Maybe he can offer us some insight. Do you know who these guys are, Meru? Yes, manager. These are N-Corp, last 2 staff members. Given the camera, briefcases in their possession, they are likely members of the pin-frame team of service Eclus. Meru recited the information as though he were pulling it from a file he had already sorted and placed in the back of the shelf in his mind. Okay. Pin-frame team. Huh. Anything else you can tell me about them? Yes. It is one of the N-Corp's many field departments related to the information gathering, processing, the primary duties including the handling of N-Corp's internal information, analysis of N-Corp's internal intelligence, the sorting and arrangement of N-Corp's internal information, and intersector. That'd be enough.
Whoa! Is he a talking encyclopedia or something? Yeah, another thing to be jealous of. You think it'd be okay if we borrow him sometimes? Might be an issue for us if you just went and borrowed our team's encyclopedia. Looks like everyone agrees that he's an encyclopedia. Anyway, your encyclopedia is right. They're from N-Corp's pinframe team. Seen him a few times before at N-Corp's nest. But why would people already be busy enough deal with nest affairs come all the way out to a shabby back street like this? Got any guesses?
I am unable to determine that. The possibility range of connection between the 2 pieces of information exceedingly broad. Listing every relevant reason as to why they may have come here would require a considerable amount of time. Therefore, I will not present a determinative answer to that question.
Huh?
Urza's staring holes into me with an unspoken, "Is this dude always like this?" Wouldn't pull any answers from me, you know? Because aside from combat situations, I've still got no way to figure out what's going on in his head. Okay then. Okay then. Okay then. So maybe this will be easy to answer from an objective point of view. And that was when I noticed something I'd never imagined would happen. Meru's eyes widened, his gaze fixing me with such force that I could almost feel the faint tremor in it. Damn, bro has an expression other than stoicism. A leveling stare that came with, "There is no such thing as an objective point of view. Manager." A clipped tone and a look almost bordering on rebuke. A given judgment may seem infinitely close to objectivity, but ultimately, all things are subjective, without exception. I fell silent for a moment, lost in thought. Part of it was because Meru's reaction had caught me off guard. I also wondered whether this response might be connected to why he would have always refused to make judgments for himself. If this has something to do with his turn, which I know is just around the corner. Got it. Then tell me 3 subjective reasons you think are most likely for why these people had to come all the way to the back streets. I need to understand who he actually is as much as I can, because I'll never know when I'll get another chance to really get to know him if I brush this off with a simple, "Oh, I see, my bad," as usual. Yes, manager. I would presume that their mission was one or all of the following: retrieval of a video recording, or recordings in violation of N-Corp's taboo, prompt elimination of the violator, contact with an informant in the back streets, collaborating with N-Corp's nest, or identification or arrest of a wanted individual or individuals designated by the nest. Taboo? You mean these people could be taboo hunters?
Nah, no way. They don't send out taboo hunters for every single violation, you know. Like, wings usually leave minor taboo violations to be handled by subcontracted fixer offices, or employees of the department in charge. I'd say these guys here are N-Corp staff.
Miss Angdu? What are you looking for in their pockets?
I'm looking through their belongings for enlightening clues, yet be hidden in the sleeves or the fold of their garments. Lady Moses has been gifted with the art of discerning the truth from what lies before her with but a single glance. And my eyes are formed to such a feat. Let me take a look, too. This is an employee card. And, okay, this one's a wallet, so let's put that back. We don't want to be robbers. Aha! This might be it. It's an ordered missive.
There's pulled a sheet of paper out from an N-Corp staff's coat and read its contents aloud.
Work details. Elimination of the individual of a Category 3 taboo violation. Address, Butter Street. This is the place. Which means all of this might be pointed to something. Whoever used to work in the studio in the distortion phenomenon might be connected. Yeah. Now that you mention it, when that whole pop and change thing happened, it did kind of feel like a camera flash. All right, let's start by combing through this place. Let me know if you find anything suspicious.
Oh, at long last, the hour arrived of my debut as a detective. Forced to live! Don Quixote must have been miffed for not getting to play detective back in T-Corp. No idea where she'd been keeping them, but she immediately pulled out the detective props that had been given to Rodeo Ryoshi and Honglu back then. Finally, I had foreseen that the day would come. Fortunately, Otis wasted no time put an end to Don Quixote's badly timed shenanigans. A sharp dressing down for her enough to make our dejected chivalric adventurer stuff the costume away. Okay then, we should get moving too. Oh, Olympus Company, thank you, visual novel. Oh my word. Misconceptions. Alright, our first time game rewards. Alright, so this is the team we are stuck with. For the most part, it's okay. Let's take out Meru. Yeah, we can bring in Blade Lineage Meru. I guess it looks like someone has the Ego and Blade Lineage Meru on him. Unfortunately, I do not have any of my Blade Lineage identities leveled up, so I'm not gonna be able to make usage of any of the bonus rewards. Nor Maruso's Ego, making him into Bamboo Hatted Kim. I have thought about. I'm kind of interested in getting it, but at the same time, though, World Purchase is around the corner. It's a trap to get it. We spent a long time. We spent a long while rifling through the photo studio with the LCD team, but no one found any decisive evidence. Sure are a lot of photos around. But almost all of them are just pictures of buildings. Ain't much to tell from that.
Aside from the canister containing the film reel Sinclair picked up, there are no remaining items here that can count as a proper clue. Executive Manager, I have confirmed that the rest are all empty plastic containers.
It's probably best to check the contents of the film roll directly.
Yes, Executive Manager. I will find a way to develop the film.
Did you guys find any sort of photo development room or equipment nearby? Let's search a little more before we see what's in that film roll. Mentor, what do you make out of this object? For the 8th time, I'm due. I have no idea. If I had wits bright enough to understand all that lies before me with a single glance like the team leader, I would have passed the royal examinations long ago and secured myself a lucrative position as a court official. But, Mentor, and you already passed the royal... Once swung, sword does not retrace its arc, undo. So, it is with life. There is no undoing what has already been cut. Thus, it is unnecessary to dwell on what can no longer be undone. There is no after for what has been slashed away. That for you, Mentor. Ought you not dwell on what can no longer be undone? What? What's she so serious about? I misspoke. I did not mean that way, Angdu. I merely meant to say that I do not wish to recall my past. I am aware. You have told me as much since long ago. Whenever you place a position to retrace the past. Mostly at the eateries where you filled your belly on unpaid tabs, and each time you brought down the stone wall before our house by your own erring hand. Those are exactly the kinds of things you should never forget. Ow! My belly! I feel stabbing pain in my belly! This spot! Oh, the berry wound you once gave me affects me yet. One from when you thought you were only poking with a scabbard. Yet by some cruel turn, it was your sword that raked me through. Mentor, you said it was completely healed and that I need not concern myself with it. Those very same words have been repeated at least 80 times.
What is Angdu's personality supposed to be? She has like the personality of I guess she's just a really complicated character. She has like the personality of like Don Quixote when it comes to like talking about her mentor. But then she also has like the memory recall of Meru. And then she's also just kind of like her own independent person. It's like there's just so many different like personality traits on varying subjects that it's really hard to read her. But still, it aches every now and then. Chiefly when I hear your sharp, cutting words that I really don't want to hear. Ah, is that so? Angdu suddenly pulled out a sheet of paper and began furiously writing something down. What's this? I have written down the words that I have just said. If hearing my sharp, cutting words afflicts you so, perhaps reading them instead would cause no suffering. Kim's face began to contort like a wet dish towel being wrung dry. I really can't believe this is the same mentor Angdu follows so devoutly. Where's all that dignity and forbearance Angdu said he had? Young Angdu, there's a matter I would ask thee. Apparently I wasn't the only one who felt that way about him. Pray, speak freely. This may perhaps be a discourteous inquiry, but I, too, when speaking to the others of those whom I serve, often ornament my words with a laudation of an acceptable degree, and yet... I understand your concern, Lady Don Quixote. I suppose this is your first time seeing Mentor with his shoulders so unbraced and his bearing so loose. In truth, when I first beheld him, I also wondered whether such a man could truly be a leader worth placing my faith in. However, upon my honor, I assure you that I have never once uttered a falsehood when I spoke of him to you. My respect toward the blades of my own foes and foes alike, my determination to safeguard what must be protected, even should my arms be torn apart, all of these are, undoubtedly, the teachings that my mentor has imparted into me. Truly? Why, if fortune should grant the opportunity, you may witness Mentor's true self yourself someday. That is to say, if we let ourselves be carried by the currents of the river to arrive at such a chance. Angdu gave her prosthetic arms a casual sweep, smiling sincerely as though she truly believed every word she said. Then leaning closer to Don Quixote, she whispered, Besides, unless I speak with his feigned stem ignorance, there will be no end to his digging and his heels. I would ask for your trust, for all it's aimed at his benefit. Forsooth, thou too hast been burdened with the trials of serving your superior. So that's what it was. I get it now. Just as I witnessed the budding of this peculiar bond of commiseration and camaraderie between our chivalric friends, the door leading outside was flung open with a loud slam. We've arrived at target location. It appears that the advance party has already been defeated. Hey, wait, where are these people? Didn't they say there was only a singular violator? Oh, crap.
Looks like it's too late to talk our way out of this. Whatever excuses we come up with. Oh boy, this is not gonna go well. The same thing has happened last time. When I saw the N Corp employees, I thought we had this wrong intel, and all of a sudden, whoop, a sudden flash blinded my vision in white, as though I had stared straight into a burst of searing light, so intense and bright that it made my head swim. Yeah, there was the same pop and... with my vision blinded, the only thing I could make out was Urza's soft murmur, until even that came to a stop as her breathing hushed. Oh. It didn't take long for me to realize what was happening. Seeing it again doesn't exactly warm the heart, won't you say, Hongdu? Though S-Corp may indeed be passing through hard times, Miss Allie was not quite so wretched in form. Was it, Mentor? Hey, welcome back, E-Reload. Is that right? Looks much the same to me. Oh, this place. Did we just get teleported to S-Corp? No, Dante. Though it generates a considerable sense of verisimilitude. This is... I think I know what this is. This is a presence. I haven't been able to detect it until just now, but somehow it was now surrounded us, saturating every corner of the space where we stood. The dreary stone walls, trees bent and coiled in grotesque forms, the sheen of the light, and even the air we breathe. All of them point toward a single phenomena. This is the depths of the Phantoms. Phantoms made entirely out of distortion.
They are completely different distortions where the End Corp employees were just a moment ago. Executive Manager,
This is exactly it! This is what I was trying to explain! Oh. Okay, that's... This is like doing a little bit too good of a job of making me uncomfortable. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm playing, watching, or interacting with anything anime aesthetic, and they just decided to like incorporate hyper-realistic, or even just take photographs of like real things and then put it in there where they shouldn't be. Like, bro has a giant eye. Human eye. They just took a photograph of some guy's like eye when he was high, 2 eyes even. And that's just I don't know if that face is like a real face, or if it's I think it's a real face. Anyway, the aesthetic, I like it in the way that, and it's like one of the few things that creeps me out. Where is appointed, the people in smart, neat suits had vanished, and in their place, figures clad in blood-stained dopo robes were approaching us with dragging, uneasy steps. Right, let's fight first and talk later. Ready, Hongdu? My blade is poised to strike, Lady Urza. And, wait, where's the bamboo-headed dude? I am afraid he has already taken his leave. He said he had no desire to cross blades with the Chunokons of the S-Corp twice. Come on, man! Not again! He's a repeat offender, that's for certain.
Executive Manager.
Wherever Kim's gone off to, this definitely isn't the time to be asking trivial questions. Right, let's do what Urza says and get ready for battle.
On your orders, Executive Manager. Men, prepare for battle.
So wait, do those guys always look like that? Or I think they only look like this because of the Phantoms. Oh hey! Oh damn! We got Urza and Hongdu in here. That's cool. So this is like a 9-person battle. Cool. Oh, got what? You saw what is going on?
Excuse me, why are you losing your clashy song?
I gotta turn up the music for me. Not the volume for me.
That's supposed to be unnerving. It does do a good job, I can say for certain. The music's good. Man, ever since what was it? Yeah, dude, ever since like Canto 9, like the BGM for just like regular fights has become so good. Oh, I definitely noticed though. It was what? It was I think it was. What was it? It was Intervallo 8.5, where you had like the high show pack theme. As soon as I heard that one, I immediately got like the vibe that Project Moon, like whoever makes the BGM, they were getting their shit down. They were starting to get like the vibe of like the music that the people want to hear, that me the people want to hear. I like this. This is a vibe. Bro, I can be running on a treadmill and I'll be listening to this. Studio EIM. Studio EIM, they're good. They're doing good. They're stepping up the game. They're impressing me now. Took them a while. took like 7 cantos for me to really. Yeah, took about like 8.5 cantos to get there, but they got there. I love the way Urza fights. Damn, she did a lot of damage. I mean, she's almost a color fixer. I think she's a grade 1, if I remember correctly. She's not powerful enough to be deemed a color fixer, though. Not like the yellow harpoon. Urza? Yeah, that's what I said, Urza. Did I not say Urza? I think she was a grade 3? Damn. Bro, then our team of sinners is like barely like grade 5. It feels like even with our newest identities, we're still so far behind from being as good as a grade 3. This fight feels especially fitting though, because we are using the high show team. Alright, what's the win rate gonna do? Okay, we do not need like 8 trillion people attacking that guy. Alright, dominating, that's good. What about you? Favored? Eh. Dominating, that's good. What about you? Favored? You know, I know that's gonna be dominating. Okay, you attack that. You attack that. One more person attack that. I have a feeling I'm gonna use Sinclair attack that, and that should probably get rid of him. Methinks. So I'm gonna take it that with one of the photographs at N-Corp, it can. No, wait. This is a Fathoms? No, if this is a Fathoms. Does N-Corp have the way to, like, store a Fathoms? Is that what I'm supposed to be understanding from this? What do I want to do here? Alright. You attack that. I don't know, you attack that. Actually, I should probably be working in reverse. Who has the most health? This guy does, so we're gonna have 2 people attacking that. I really don't have to, like, focus too hard, but... Or worry too hard about who attacks what. Don't have to, but... Faster we clear, the better. Oh, and I didn't even notice that we actually had enough stacks. Did they buff your, like, horsey song? Don't remember him getting linebacker or his enhanced S3 that fast. Usually it never happens. I guess we got really lucky. Did we get like a skill 3 in the first round? First turn, maybe. Huh.
That should be all of them.
Surveying the area with measured alert, Ongdu cast the blood from her sword with a few sharp flicks before sliding it back to its sheath.
Huh?
They're not charging back. Doesn't look like beating up the distorted ones reverts them immediately this time round.
Perhaps a fortunate turn of events, in a way. Let's search for clues while time allows us. Right! You take that side, Ongdu, I'll search here.
Urza and Ongdu moved about as though they were used to this kind of situation. Without even taking a moment to catch their breath after the battle, they began searching the space.
Pretty!
Don Quixote was the first one to voice her doubt in the surreal and familiar situation we found ourselves in.
We've had the distortions upon our arrival hither, yet never before have I beheld our surroundings change with so sudden a flash. Prithee, I cannot make sense of the situation. Couldst thou render a detailed account of this distortion phenomenon?
Apologies. It would appear I overlooked the briefing due to the urgency of this predicament. This is, according to the definition presented by Lady Moses, a location-type distortion.
It's basically when the whole space distorts, and since places and buildings can't move on their own, the distortion gets fixed in a certain space. As for this one, looks like the distortions already progressed pretty far along. Middle stage. Probably? They don't get this big, usually. But this one here is covering almost an entire street.
Then those people.
They entered this space and got caught up in it. And our job right now is to get to the bottom of the phenomena. What exactly gets people caught up and what happens to them once they're in. And of course, we can't really rule out the possibility of a powerful distortion that's approaching upon its environment. Oh. By that I mean when a distortion bleeds into the space around it and warps it. Oh man, I'm actually talking like our team leader. Rubbed off of me, I guess.
Urza continued with a sheepish giggle.
In any case, we won't be able to suppress or cure the distortions if we whoop these guys' asses 100 times. We need more clues to help us locate the inflection point. Maybe we should examine these people over here too. With a call, Urza directed our attention to rows of collapsed people all around, all of them clad in dopa robes.
These are the glyph emblazed upon the headbands. Sure. B speaks propulsion and pursuit. It marks them as Chinokuns, functionaries charged with scouring and hunting runaway nobis.
You hail from the homeland as we do. I am unsurprised that you know of them.
I could hardly fail to know, for I, too, was once enumerated among the Kwai. Scientists and technicians were daily being dispossessed of their stations at Escorp, after all.
So it was no idle tale. Scientists who ply their craft without fattening Escorp's coffers are seized forthwith and made nobis of the corporation.
Indeed. I count myself fortunate to have absconded with my friends afore the brand of Noe could be impressed upon us. Otherwise,
Novi, the wretched application conferred upon the people for the convenience of those in power. A vile practice and an excuse of their power-mongering. Nothing more.
the so-called taboo hunters of Escorp operate by much the same anatomy. Does the breaching of taboo summon the hunter, or does the hunter foresee his prey to thereafter frame the caption with invented transgression?
If the powerful so desire to chase a man down, to take possession of his very being and keep him caged, then they need only decree that he should bear the lot of Nobai. Such is what Escorp has become today. My mentor, too, is one of the victims of the current practice. Then, could these people have been sent out to capture your mentor? Or Isang? Or me, perhaps? Or none of us? You mean to say that they may be conceptual forms of chukuns generated by distortion? That is a plausible conjecture.
We are getting nowhere with this clue hunting.
With a heavy sigh, Notice pressed her fingers against her brow, as if her head were starting to pound in frustration.
To delve further into the matter, it is necessary to determine why the S-Corp and Chunonkans have appeared as the motif of this phenomena. Considering the course of events we have seen so far, wouldn't it stand to reason that the distortion stains are all nearby things with the memories most foul? The presence of Chunonkans suggests a possible correspondence to Isang's memories. Conversely, however, the absence of T-Corp's time collectors weakens that hypothesis. In which case, the most plausible theory is that this particular distortion could have stemmed from Bamboo-Headed Kim or Angdu's memories.
Angdu furrowed her brow and fell into thought, as though she couldn't grasp the full picture of the problem.
I've seen a few distortions that show trauma or affect their surroundings. This one, when I get that pop of inspiration, can't even guess at what this distortion wants either.
Pop? The white flash of light suddenly drowned my vision again as Urza clutched her head and cried out with an annoyance.
Ah! If only the tea leader was here, the credits would have been a piece of cake.
And we're back. So this is why you kept asking whether we've seen anything bursting with a pop. So I'm gonna guess that the T-Corp, the N-Corp guys, they brought out that film, and that film is what brought us to those Chikonans.
The N-Corp employees must have it rough too, getting dragged into the distortion like this.
I mean, what else were we supposed to do? It was self-defense. They're about to attack us.
Suppose fighting the root cause and taking care of it would be the fastest way forward.
Let's just do what we can for now. Okay, first, we need to develop the film we found here. We'll head to the nearest dark room and... Nah, actually, let's first drag that slippery hat wearing cult back here and get him talking about the Chikonans.
Chinokuns. That's probably our best bet.
Every time we take a job, that slacker just snips off without telling anyone.
As one part of me watched Urza stamp her feet in frustration, I was also carefully following Heathcliff's team through the other part of my vision.
Oh,
I think it can help with that.
Have you located him? Huh? What? Boss Clark found something?
Yep. I found where Bamboo-Headed Kim is right now.
Heathcliff. He's the Heathcliff and team.
Oh, nice. That's a good bonus. Insufficient echinephrine. Oh, they sad. I forgot. I actually I converted all. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Thinking. Oh yeah, I did make this team specifically for this, so we could actually use this team. What do we think here? So if we can get the same Meru as last time, which we can, poggers. So we get a 100% boost, which is nearly the cap with just this team. All right, cool, very nice. Let's just hope that they work well together. Do I want to put? Oh wait. Can I level you up? No, I cannot. Let's resort this team. All right, get rid of you. Get rid of you. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is fine.
Your team's load out. La 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 la.
Shut up. Shut up, Zuka. Meanwhile, Heathcliff's team.
Bloody hell! What up with these gits? They're showing up out of nowhere. How should I know? But judging by the get-up, they seem like escort fellas. And things were going so well. You could have talked out with those fedora guys who were rummaging around the place earlier, you know? But no, you just had to go barking at them first. Would have saved us a whole lot of trouble from you have, right?
Oh, so it's my fault. Douche bastards looked like they were nicking stuff. This is our contract area, ain't it? If they walked off with something important, we'd be the ones catching hell. Listen, bud. Now everyone's itching to swap hair coupons in their pocket, checking to get change. No, for how many bloody months are you gonna milk that? Excuse me? What? You got a problem too, mate? No, not at all. Just wondering whether that gentleman over there is also one of our enemies. Oh, is that the end of your true performance? Shame. I was really enjoying watching you folks dance. My mistake in this place for the beach blossom land of legends. Had there been a cup of fine magagoli to go with it. Yeah, that's an enemy, all right. Huh? It's a name tag, though. I think it says, LCD? LCD or whatever you get it, Tosh. I must have put up with it. I'm gonna drink more. I was gonna grab something. I'm just gonna do that now. That's a better idea.
Do it now. It's gonna hurt me later.
Open the bottle. Now we got it. Oh dear! Such bold swings! Didn't know there was an encore to that performance, huh? You sleepy little rat. Well, I do find this amusing enough. But if you intend to play with me, you ought to be more aware of your surroundings. Hey, behind you! There's... Oh. Wow! You took out all those dopa-wearing people with just a single strike! I'd say that about covers the price of a minute for your troop circus. Would you? Well then, I'll leave the rest of you folks. Water blades and merman tails never linger on the stage for long, after all. Oi! Where the hell do you think you're going? Ah, damn it. Goodbye, bamboo-headed kid. Let's find out how good this team is. How decent they're gonna work out. Illusion slash. Alright, what about you attacking that? Alright, alright, cool. Don Quixote, how'd you lose that? Elriz. Man, they are quite tough though. Good BGM. I am very impressed. This has me really excited to listen to like the boss's BGM. I did them once in Meru Dungeon, but I didn't have audio on, so I did not hear what their soundtrack is. You know, actually, speaking of the BGM, I haven't really even noticed what's going on with noticed the BGM during like the scenes that we aren't in combat. Unless it's like really subtle and quiet. So actually, where are you? Where is Bamboo-headed Tim? So after getting hit, use to claim. Let's see. Gain the aggro to this skill. Flash 1, gain 5 poise after getting hit. Use to claim their bones skill. For every 7 poison self, attack with +1. Oh, alright, that's interesting. So this entire gimmick is purposely using Clash and shit. There we go. Wasn't it the opposite in Library of Ruina when you were fighting Bamboo-Headed Kim? When he was using yield my flesh to claim thy bones? If I remember correctly, it wasn't like the whole. I thought if he lands yield my flesh, then he activates to claim thy bones. But then again, no, I never played Library of Ruina. I just kind of know about it. I watched the 5.5-hour video essay about it. Though this team is definitely struggling in comparison. Or so it seems at least. What do we want to do here? So... Okay, you're favored. Let's actually attack you with that. We attack you with that. We attack you with that. I don't know, I guess I attack you with that. Do we have anyone we're not clashing with? Then we can have 2 people attack you, and that's probably going to get rid of you. What are you attacking? You're attacking that, so we're going to have you attack that. And we're going to hope that Don Quixote wins the clash. We do not have enough of that blue ego resource. I was hoping to use Scow's default ego so we can get our sanity up a little bit, because once we start winning our clashes, then we're going to be tearing through these people. EIM slayed with this. This is the type of music we gotta be hearing all the time for my battles. At least this is the type of music I like listening to. Oh. Oh. So I was right, my game theory. They're using a photograph to make themselves look different. But the guys we're game ending in the phenomena is actually these guys. Or so I take it. And that seems to be that theory seems to be the working theory, the correct one, to my knowledge so far. I know I'm far behind everyone else though, when it comes to this intervallo. That wasn't very nice of you to stun Don Quixote then. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, her S3! Okay, so those baggies there, they're cameras. Interesting music. I am quite concerned if we are actually going to be able to win or get this in like 5 more turns. May have to go back to the Haisho Pack team. Although Hung Lu just has Tibia's Melody, which should help us out a bit in doing not just damage but stunning. Oh, very nice! Maybe we do got this. We actually are gonna get closing time, I believe, next term too. Which can be even more big boy damage. Yes, sexy Faust! Oh, he does not have closing time. Is it next term? It's probably next term, isn't it? Yeah, next turn. Oh well. Press win rate, see what happens. Alright, coolio. I'm gonna use this. Actually, we don't even need to use that. Let's see, Hong Lu. Can I use yours? No, I'm thinking Yisong, never mind. Ryoshi, what about you? Can I use yours? No, never mind, I actually don't have the right ego on. I don't have any damaging egos on. Well, actually, I have Gregor's Butterfly, but I think that one's a single focus. I was hoping and believing that if I had Yisong or like Ryoshi's other ego, it could do a lot of damage.
이제 싱크에선 벗어났나?
빈틈투성이군. 스틸레터.
신입 연구원들도 저분들처럼만 해주시면 좋을 텐데.
불가능한 꿈이죠. 환상체와 디틀림 모두 외워야 할 관리법과 구성은 난 많잖아요.
Oh, she's nearly gonna get her enhanced S3. Very cool. Oh, nice. And it's gonna go back in another mode now. That's really cool. Closing time. Oh, and they got their stagger back. Oh, interesting. I'm pretty sure closing time's gonna delete that guy, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Yo, welcome back, Reload. I'm enjoying the fight, understanding the lore, while just simply going through it. Or possibly piecing together, like, the story through just this single fight scene. Like I thought N-Corp is able to affect that. I believe that. Holy moly. Ear grape.
So let me get this straight. Dude was here just a minute ago, and now nobody knows where he wandered off to. You think he will be done with the interval today? Probably not. Probably not. I'm taking a gander. I do not think I'll be able to get it done in like 2 hours, which is fine. But oh well. It is what it is. I'll enjoy it nonetheless. Maybe hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, bloke just turned up out of nowhere, flapped his gums, didn't run it before anyone could grab him. I mean, intervals usually. I mean, I don't know. Everything about Limbus Comedy has been getting longer and longer as time is going on, which is like a good thing for the most part. It's actually not that long, really. Well, so long as I don't choke on my words and I'm constantly coughing while trying to voice act, maybe I will get it done before today. I don't know. From what I remember about the average interval, it's usually about 4 hours. So if that's the case, maybe I probably will be able to make it in the dungeons very short. Okay. I mean, I think I should actually be able to do it. If it is under the idea that's only like 4 hours, maybe. If I'm like really close, or I feel like I'm close, and I might be able to go. I might be able to finish. 10 minutes in and out for me. See, I'll play for the story. Urza let out a long, listless sigh, as though she was getting sick and tired of even complaining about Kim. It ain't too much enemy battle stage spam. Okay. Lady Urza, I cannot say your frustration is misplaced, yet I trust you are also aware that, more often than not, mentors actually have carried a profound design. Is a story a few words, really? I don't know. Time will tell. I feel like it's been pretty wordy so far. Not like, well, not really that wordy. I don't know. It's been playing out like the average intervallo so far. But well, I guess we'll in due time we'll verify how long or short it really is. He has never left his post without purpose so far. No, I get it. Okay, come on. Would it come to give him a heads up before he goes zooming off on his own again? I told him you were a man of few words. Oh. I see now. That completely slipped me. It's not like we'd stop him. What are we gonna do? Tie him up? Lock him in a closet? We don't do that in our team, right? Remember, last time,
We all thought he was being a good patient and sleeping it off in the recovery ward, but nope. When the LCE got infiltrated, he snuck out without telling anyone and came back like nothing happened. The team leader didn't even chew him out for that. Lady Urza, that's... Oopsie! Wasn't supposed to mention that. Was I?
And the reason he failed to participate in the operation was
simply because the LCD was lax in supervising its personnel.
Is that what you're suggesting?
Lady Moses bade us hold our tongue to this very reason. She knew full well Mentor's intention would be misunderstood in precisely such a manner. So are you 9.519 right now? I think so.
What part of this have I misunderstood? Did you not just disclose that the man deserted his post without authorization?
That's the thing! He was just wandering around. He was outside. All alone. Taking down the ring. Automaticans who locked down the elevator that led into the LCE department. Yeah, it's not like he was dealing with the strongest enemy out there. But the recovery ward didn't have an emergency alarm, and nobody from the department was there to warn him either. Someone just caught on and did the job himself.
Huh.
There's 6 notes left? Oh, okay. Heard it's all thanks to him that the facilities team managed to get the comms back up and contact that LCE chief dude way faster. That helped the LCA to actually deploy. They would have been delayed for another hour or two if he hadn't stepped in, apparently. And he went fighting even though he still wasn't fully recovered. So he came back looking like he'd been processed through a meat grinder. So yeah, he did end up staying in bed like a good patient in a lot of pain.
The soldier's not entirely deserving of reproach.
No, Pisa. Less talking, more doing type, I guess. Anyway, we were all stuck inside the building back then during the incident, so fine. I suppose there was no helping it. Today, though, never mind, it's always like this with him. He always slips away and pops back in saying it's done. My point is, what happens if one day, when those solo missions doesn't go his way and he just drops dead in the street somewhere? How are we supposed to help him then? Actually, how does he even know what he's supposed to be done in the first place and nobody gave him any instructions?
Bloke's had to rely on his gut feeling, innit?
Gut feeling?
Look, I only shot a bloke for a bit, so I can't say I've got him all figured out. He's an annoying bastard. But he didn't strike me as some clueless shot who doesn't know where he's stepping.
A man of no words. Shit, bro. You actually remind me of another quote, and I can't remember where it's from. I don't think it's from Limbus Company. You reminded me of a man of no consequence. Hold on, where is that from? I don't know why. That's like stuck in my brain. I have to figure it out. A man of no consequence. Where is that from? Oh, it's from Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, come on. There we go. Heathcliff scratched his chin and kept talking as though he were stating an obvious fact.
Today's proof enough. He's not one of us, so Clark couldn't have reached him from that far and sent him to back us up. And there's no way he just happened to run into us just when we were about to get in a battle, innit?
Then,
well, could be bloke's got some stupidly sharp head on him and piece things together. Could be that. But I've got these moments where I get a flash of that gut feeling. However you want to call it. My boss man, Matthew, said he could hear that kind of shit too. Said, I can hear them gears turning. Or, I think I hear rats scaring about.
Man, that reminds me when, like, a couple of days ago, I was at the mart with me Madre, and then she was planning to turn off some way, and then I had just this weird gut feeling. I'm like, no, don't go that way. Don't go that way. Go this other way. She's like, I don't want to go that way. That's through town. Town's busy. And this very particular time, the town was not busy. And we got through it extremely quickly. She's like, huh. Yeah, we actually saved like 10 minutes. Good job. You're welcome, Mommy.
You do things you couldn't make heads or tails of. Listen, there was just one time we were expecting a life and death fight. Matthew says he can hear them to gears turn. Walks to a random pub, starts throwing back drinks like he lost his bloody mind.
Uh-huh. That does sound like someone who's lost his bloody mind. Back when I was on the ship, some sailors used to drink the barrel dry before battling whales to blunt their fear. When it stumbled around the deck and fall overboard.
Yeah, and boss could knock it back like a whale. Still, point is, getting plastered right before a turf war's not what most sane people would call a good idea. And it's all cross. So we went stopping after him. And guess what? Turns out that pub was the secret hideout where the opposing syndicate was holed up. They were crowding around the gaffer, run their mouths about how they'll kill him and putting an end to the dead rabbits. That's when we came storming in and had them surrounded instead. Not a single one of them got away. We beat them bloody, every last bastard. Boss knew it'd play out that way.
Sorry, but this really sounds like Barstool bragging to me. You sure that just wasn't a coincidence? Did I miss any box while stepping up? No? You didn't miss any box? I should think it was no mere chance. If you are saying as much, then surely this was but one among many such coincidences. Is that not so?
Yeah, every time Matthew pulled one of those stunts, our line ended up growing bigger. Wouldn't have kept working so neatly if it were just coincidence.
It is likely what is often referred to as indeed an instinctive sense or experience-based precognition, more accurately an unconscious process by which information accumulated in the subconscious is sorted and converted into sensible conclusions. There have been some extremely rare cases in which Heathcliff has demonstrated the ability to arrive at coherent conclusions that surprise even Faust. On further analysis, it would appear that he was employing a mechanism similar to a sixth sense, as some people would call it.
Should I compliment? Or are you taking a piss on me?
Though my mentor does not see fit to explain each step he takes, when all is past, I often find that no footfall of his was taken in vain. I would ask of you, grant him but a little time and wait. Keep waiting, and the shape of his intent may yet become clear. Though I confess, I have also been concerned about him as of late. His recent silence is far heavier than what I have noticed in the past. To wait! Don Quixote began, hesitated, and stopped herself from saying more. She only gave a quiet nod. Yeah, okay. I suppose our team leader has her own reason for letting him be. That said, doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Let's return to the task at hand and do what we can for now. Fine. The others quieted down. I finally had room to notice the place we found ourselves in. There wasn't a single ray of light, just a deep red hue pressing in from every side.
I can't believe we've been chatting away in the dark this whole time, fellas. The red lights aren't helping at all. Switch with my aging eyes.
Oh, are you looking for the light switch? It's right here. And right then, don't turn on the light. I heard Mariso clipped warning, his voice coming from a corner I didn't expect to find. Mariso? Where are you? Ah, there he is. That corner. Is he watching something? I'm developing the film roll manager. Exposure to light might ruin the entire roll. Please exercise caution. So he'd been doing his own thing. That explains why he was quiet all along.
Huh? Didn't think you'd know how to print photographs, pal.
What's that for, anyway? You expressed the wish to have the film developed manager. I'm carrying out that instruction. It's in sync with the photo of Fumble twice. I see. Photo studio first, and our dark room. This may be no more than a conjecture. It would not be unreasonable to suppose that the axis of this distortion rests upon a photographer. The film's serial numbers either match those found in the photo studio, or deviate by only a single digit. It is certain that this dark room is connected to the studio in some way. The images bear striking resemblance to these photographs. I also believe this building and that photo studio share a strong connection.
Oh? Where did you get these photos?
I brought some from the photo studio. I can't name locations in the pictures with certainty, yet they all appear to have been taken at various places at N-Corp's district. Buildings, mostly. Hey, wait! I know what these are! People take pictures like these when supplying stuff to that department store.
Correct. The photos must have been taken by a docugrapher. Mariso chimed in, holding up an odd cylindrical container in his hand. This time, he gave the container a shake every now and then, with a measured rhythm. What he was doing seemed to be part of the process of developing the film. Film rolls are hardly affordable for the average resident in N-Corp. In most cases, taking photographs is done as part of the professional duties. There are approximately 21 occupations in District 14 that utilize photography. However, only a single profession involves routinely photographing specific buildings, adhering to fixed standards that can be observed in these pictures. And these docugraphers you mentioned are the people entrusted with that job? Yes. They photograph the information to be poured into the canned experience. A docugrapher. Could a person of such a decently lucrative profession fall into a distortion?
Decent job, maybe. But how do we know if they're a decent person?
Ezra replied with a clear-cut answer after only a brief pause.
What makes you say that? The photo studio we were at didn't have any darkrooms, right? No, it didn't. My team leader said there are other ways of processing film rolls, but in N-Corp, you have to go to a darkroom to develop and print them.
Correct. Film rolls are usually immersed in developer solution to be processed.
Which is why photo studios had these darkrooms equipped with red safe lights right next to them. But this place, it's pretty far from that photo studio.
Huh? Yeah, now you mention it.
Check out these windows. They're only covered by newspapers. Oh, messy like. If you consider how sensitive film rolls are to light, it's really super suspicious that this darkroom doesn't have any proper blackout panels. And you know films can cost a fortune some places in the city, right? Who in their right mind would print photos of in a room patched up with yesterday's newspaper? Oh. This probably isn't even a legit darkroom. Someone just taught them the bare minimum tools needed to develop film and threw them together in a hurry. Someone who didn't want to be seen printing photos. People don't usually avoid scrutiny unless they're doing something that's decent. If that's the case, they can see why they might have distorted. Right?
Energy. Mariso came to my side quietly, still giving the strange cylinder the occasional stake. I have a request regarding your instructions to develop this film roll. What is it? Please ensure that the light in this room is not turned on until development is complete. Are we already doing that? Yes. However, engaging a battle opens the door to the uncomfortable variables. This is why I have judged it necessary to make a separate request. Battle? There is no need for concern. I am capable of participating in combat whilst maintaining the development process.
But wait, can you slow down? A battle, you say? Surely there must be cause for you to believe so.
At the photo studio, reinforcements arrived exactly 11 minutes and 34 seconds after N-Corp's pinframe team's staff were defeated. Deductions based on the events thus far make it clear that the photo studio and its darkroom share some kind of connection. Furthermore, Senator Heathcliff, Senator Hoggloo, and Senator Gregor have battled N-Corp's pinframe team in this very location. I hear footsteps rushing up the staircases, approaching closer and closer. I have a feeling I know what Mariso is getting at, but I ask anyway. Meaning... The initial rinse is finished. The process is now halfway to the completion of the second agitation. This indicates that 11 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed since the start of development. A battle is imminent. Please withdraw to a safe position, Manager. Mariso, you... You should have warned us way earlier! Understood, Manager. I will follow that instruction going forward. Way to go, Mariso. Sitcom intervallo. Strikes again. Photos. Oh man, more reading.
지금 제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도
Want a break from the ads?
After the battle, something sits ill with me. I'm in the Spiral F's course backstreets, distorted with the flash. Angdu had her gaze fixed somewhere high overhead, and at the end of her gaze. Are those photographs? Look at this photograph! A long line stretched across the open air, photographs hanging from it.
like a laundry clipped to a clothesline. The next 3 notes are only story. Oh, yay. I need a break from talking. My voice is dying.
I mistook it for a cool angel at first and gave it a little attention. Yet upon closer look, I saw those pictures hanging from the line. Perhaps they'd been strung within the dark room and remained thus when the distortion took hold. Bizarre. Observation of unaffected elements in the space occurred by a location type distortion is most irregular. Indeed. Times we bore from the studio have already changed, and images of various sites of S-Corp. But these alone remain as they were. Let's take them down and check them ourselves. Just as I was wondering if the line was perhaps too high for me to reach, Meru stepped forward and plucked a few photos off it. And the instant he brought them to me, we heard another boop, and again, a bright white flash blinded my vision for a moment.
Good grief! This distortion likes to change its mind, huh? It keeps switching between S-Corp and N-Corp.
This feels like getting caught in a flashbang detonation. My whole body tenses up, then goes slack right after.
The other sinners were busy grumbling about the distortion and its sudden jumps, except for Meru, who stood right in front of me with the photos still held out in his hand. Oh, he didn't drop them. No. He gave his usual short answer, then returned his attention to the cylinder he had been shaking. He took the film out of the container and flicked the liquid off it with clean, controlled motions. Is the process finally done? Wait, we're back here with the lights on now. Is it okay to take the film out? Yes. Exposure light will not damage the film once developed. Development is complete and the image is fixed. There is no cause for concern. That's a relief. I couldn't say if I followed all the technical details, but no cause for concern was all I needed to hear. Sign of relief, I held up the photographs so I could take a proper look.
So, see anything odd in there, Mandra Bud?
Ah, there are people in them. Wow, people in photographs? No. Oh. Yo, she's still in baguette. The people in the photographs all look different from one another. Are you sure? Okay, so the woman over here is the same as this woman here. Maybe woman had funeral, and there was a guy tending to her grave. If I had to pick one similarity between them, though, they looked cold and indifferent. Really? That's what you took from it? Okay, then. Yeah, that's a shitty, alright. Alright, folks, you'd see anywhere. These aren't like the photos we picked up at the studio earlier. Are these the kinds of photographs they use to make canned experiences? What? What was that? The scenery around us seemed to ripple just now. I didn't even think about half of that! Me and I'm built different. Dante and I, we build completely different. I was about to ask Faust if she also felt the strange sensation, but it faded away soon enough. Perhaps it's nothing serious. Green dot connection, but like... Great dot connection, but like... Maybe it was just a spell of random vertigo? Is it even possible to get dizzy when I've got a clock for a head? No. Marisol must have noticed that I was out of sorts for a moment, because they seemed to pause on purpose before answering my question. No? I thought you said docugraphs take these pictures to put into canned experiences. Broad ingredients for canned experience are hidden exclusively by the Grand Magazine Seraphina. There is no known method for external parties to access them. Sci-fi? What? Oh, I think I've heard of that. Canned experiences, right? They're in high demand in other districts too. But only the brand stamped on them is Grand Magazine Sci-Fi. Same name every time. I remember some of my classmates bragging about trying them whenever exam weeks came around. Never had one myself though. Can't really explain it, but something about them just feels kind of wrong. It's that popular, huh? The unprocessed base content of the CAD experience known as experience matter supplied to reprocessing factories, while docugraphers fine-tune the experience site details. Photographers are primarily used for that purpose.
They can fine-tune experience?
An easier example for understanding would be to consider my docugraphers take pictures of subjects such as buildings. A purchaser may wish to experience living in a luxurious building that they could never afford. Another may wish to vent out impulses of violence by experiencing the burning of an expensive property. Demand for haute couture can experience is increasing by day. So that's why the photos from earlier were all fancy buildings. Yes, manager. Conversely, information concerning an ordinary experience that can be easily encountered in reality is in low demand.
Then why photograph these Reddits at all?
Perhaps. These were not images harvested for their commodity value, but pure photography in and of itself. Mayhaps they have been captured for desire to seize a vanishing instant through a lens.
There are people who take photographs knowing that it would cost an exorbitant sum. I've seen some before.
Truly a monastic experience. For real, no cap.
A staggering amount of money just to take a single photo. That is, if they couldn't even manage to find a photographer who would take the risk and help them take the picture. I'm not so crass as to put a price on a sentiment and nostalgia, but spending this much money on film reels could have made this investment worth it.
I'd say, maybe this isn't just a matter of sentiments or memories, even. Leaving through the photographs, I quietly expressed my thoughts.
Exhibit manager?
I'm not exactly an authority on distortions, but I know they manifest through desires or emotions that become warped in bizarre ways. But everything the distortion has shown us so far points back to S-Corp. That is, the S-Corp from the past that only Kim and Ongdu would have seen and remembered. These photos, though, are completely untouched by the distortion. Doesn't that feel off? I think what I said earlier was right about the photographs. So, okay, so the photographs are basically pictures by the distortion, all right? So obviously there has to be me within the pictures. So I'm pretty sure it relates like the woman that we saw in the first two pictures, then she died, and then I don't know, maybe they like took a picture of somebody that was mourning that they didn't expect. And if that obsession is something that refuses to let these memories be influenced, I think our next step should be to look for the people in these photos. These photographs are the only undistorted, unaltered clues we have. Dante says it would be advisable to locate the people shown in these photographs.
Oh, good idea! Team leader did say that we should accept input from the LCP with open arms. Hey, Undo, can you get me the office catalog? We'll probably need to commission an office affiliate with 7 Association. Look for one that can take the request right away.
Can someone tell Urza we're fine? I think I know where to find those people.
Dante says one of the people shown in the photos has already been found. What? When? How?
Well, guess I'm just having a lucky day. I pulled the radio from my waist and switched it on without answering Urza's question. DWR.
DWRC.
I think she said, did we regroup, Cluck?
That one was especially hard to understand. Ryoshu. Rhodia's with you, right? Did you put her on?
Look, yeah.
Rhodia, you there?
What? Dante wants to talk? One sec. Kind of went overboard with the bread and pastries. My hands are completely full over here. Pastries? What kind? Just one of everything. Nee! Can you grab extra brioche and baguettes for me too? Love the ones from that street. They're so good. Hold on. I gotta readjust the pile if I wanna. Just throw them on DF. They are packaged. Oh shoot! You can't treat food like that, Kay! Bread has... bakers have feelings too, you know? How do you think the baker would feel if they knew someone was treating their precious babies like trash? This scabbard is rattling again for no reason. Anyways, Dante, can you give me a sec if you need me to fight? Just need to cram these in my pockets real quick.
No, it's not a fight.
Huh? Then what's this about?
I took a closer look at the words written on the wicker basket the first photograph Meru had brought me. Where's that bakery you're at? Okay. So, alright. So, apparently the bakery is related to the picture and just Dante's having a gut feeling. Got it. Good. She seemed a lot younger in that photo. Ah, I know who you're looking for. The owner of the bakery was a woman holding the same wicker basket as the one in the photograph. She took one glance at the picture and I held for her and gave a quick nod. This man, he works in Category 17 right next. He's a regular. He used to drop by every morning to buy sandwiches to share with his coworkers. I haven't seen him around lately, though.
And those coworkers, I assume they were wearing the same uniform?
Asking the question on my behalf, Otis showed the baker another photograph. Probably. He was always wearing one, too. I guess it's a caterer uniform.
This confirms I lead. Executive Manager, a few inquiries at the caterer should bring us to the information we need.
Yeah, you're right, but it's just that he doesn't seem very concerned at all. Just one of the people in the photos that weren't affected by the distortion, right? Thought she'd be a close acquaintance.
Allow me to verify, Executive Manager. Do you know the name of this regular you spoke of?
His name? Am I supposed to know that? Though I wasn't expecting her to actually know his name. The apathy evident in her voice gave me pause.
He took a photo of you. Would it be reasonable to assume that you, well, acquainted with him?
Oh, that. Hey, yo. What kind of expression is that? The baker's demeanor changed when Otis pressed the point. She gave a strange, unsettling smile before pulling something out of her apron pocket. A thin and round, can-like object. He said he'd give me 5 of these cat experiences for free if I'd let him take my picture. He even said he'd throw in the docograph for the building of my choice. He docographs buildings, right? I hear he even takes work trips to the nest every now and then. So I asked him to get me a docograph of this lovely mansion I saw by the nest suburbs. I know I'll never get to afford a beautiful place like that, but this way, I could at least experience what it's like, and gosh, it was everything I'd ever hoped for. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but there was a distinct eeriness to that dreamy and blissful smile on the baker's face that sent a chill down my spine. I don't blame you, Dante. After all, I feel like she's obsessing over the fact that she even experienced it whatsoever, and now she's gonna want to live in a dream forever. 'Tis a flaw with one of the many technologies in the city.
Ahem.
Young Marisol, are these card experiences truly possessed of such marvels to block all semblance of reason from one's utterance?
They maintain high demand across the city. District 14 is only one of several markets.
Does thou mean that those who indulge in cat experiences may experience venturing on an expedition to the Great Lake and bungee jumping off the summit of that skyscraper yonder as they remain seated where they are? Memory drugs.
Memory drugs. Memory fent. Photograph. Imagine fentanyl, but instead of like snorting it or injecting it, you just like you got a photograph of it, and then you had the experience of what it was like to take fent, and you're like, damn, I want to do that again. Don't take it away from me, please. No, don't take it away. I don't care if it's bad for. Don't take my photo fent away. I need it. They may, however.
Oh, a minute, Khan. Allowing one to pursue any dream the heart may conceive. Finally, I confess my own soul is much tempted.
It differs from pursuing a dream. Damn. Why is Rogan so mad?
Huh?
Mass-produced cat experiences are made from base experience matter mixed with various modified information. The result, end product, enables intense simulation through ultra memory. Therefore, it is unlike the dream is experienced by Don Quixote. I have a great Shark Tank pitch. Wanna help? What's the Shark Tank pitch? How can I help? Just wording it for you? Piece of memory refined along the numerous processing stages of the cannery's production lines is not equivalent to genuine experience, meaning the usage of experience in her previous statement must also be amended. Memories alter for intense stimulation. That does sound quite shady.
Huh. How doth this cast a shade upon the boons granted by the Khan? Adventures and tales are forsooth inclined toward a little grandeur.
It is because the memories provided by Ket experiences are extremely vivid. Statistics have shown that users of cans interpret them as authentic experiences and become dependent on them. A possible cause of the formation of dependence patterns is that Ket experiences allow one to feel as if one has achieved the dream that is, in reality, impossible.
Art thou implying that the users are made content with devouring forged dreams stored in instant-use cons?
Worse still, the user may no longer strive to chase dreams in the waking world. For the sweeter and more splendid a dream is embellished, the more impossible it is, it will appear to be grasped with one's own hands.
It become a cause for surrender, thus inciting one to march forth. Verily doth it not annul the significance of dreaming itself, if the resultant dream rouseth not the spirit to gallop toward it?
Whether that annuls its significance, I cannot know. But they sell will.
So, how much will you be buying?
By what?
You came barging in with all these questions, and now I was patient enough to answer them politely. Was you not? Don't you think you owe me a little share, too? You're not about to leave without buying a shingle loaf after crowding up my bakery, shooing off my customers, are you?
Your case was on point, actually, with our whole group gathered around. The passerbys gave us a weird berth and hurried on, whispering among themselves. Nobody was about to come in and buy bread like that.
Come on, lady! I practically cleared your shelf already, didn't I?
You did? Where the hell are you keeping all that at then?
Do you even gotta ask? Of course I already had some. And the rest is safely taken to my coat pockets so we can all share later.
We take a picture of the cow and sell it and claim it and claim it as helpful in quitting as it replaces coca. Oh, coca as in cocaine. Oh. Little do people know we put coca in the photo paper.
Alright, sharks. Today, I'm gonna tell you all about coca paper. It's got P-Corp pockets. Let me tell you all about coca paper. So, it's a very special paper. And all it is it's a subscription service where people pay $50 a month and they get four papers sent to them in the mail. And every single paper, it has a picture of cocaina. Now, I know cocaina is illegal, sharks, but let me tell you something. This is special paper. And what makes it special, I can't legally tell you that. But nonetheless, this is special paper. And it can get any coca addict to stop buying for the deal altogether. In fact, it's actually to cure druggies as we know it. There will be no more drugs in the streets. Now, one might say that we are distributing it, but that's a lie, and that's a conspiracy made by journalists. So what do you say, sharks? Give me like a small loan of $1 million.
So you already ate some? Let's buy a little more. It's true we scared off the other customers.
Understood. Given that the expense is made to facilitate this operation, the lack of prior budgeting should not pose a problem.
I'd pay $1 for 100% of the company.
Oh, nice! Sesame rice buns for me, please.
It was Kim. He really did have a knack for making an entrance at the least expected moments.
Hey, mister! Where have you been this whole time?
Wait.
Huh?
Be cross with me all you like, but just give me a moment.
There was a pause, waiting in puzzled anticipation. Only for Kim to take a sesame rice bun from the baker's hands and chop into it.
All right, I'm ready.
Freaking waste of bread!
Urza's angry fist drove straight into Kim's solar plexus, falling to the ground like a crumpled sack of potatoes as he rolled away. At this rate, the owner might start charging us for the whole bakery next. Roof and all. Let's get away from here. Manager. Verso approached me as we walked down the street with Urza and Kim still squabbling behind us. He was holding a roll of something brown and tightly coiled. Huh? I have completed development of the film, per your instruction. Oh, so this is the film in that canister you're shaking. Do I just unroll it? Hold it up against the sun or other sources of light, as it is a reversal film. The images should be visible as they were photographed. I had no idea what a reversal film meant, but I did, as he said, an unrolled film. Okay, I can see it. Huh. That's pretty cool.
Oh, is it showing? Can I see too?
Move it over a bit. Let me have a look too.
It was hard to make out the details because the images were too small, but I could still tell the strip was packed with almost identical pictures. Huh? Is this the same person every shot? The same pose in all of them?
You're right.
No. Wait a second.
See the arm here? The further along the strip you go, the lower it gets.
Yeah. The head looks like it's turning to the right. Huh? We were all squinting up at the tiny frames of the film when Sinclair suddenly flinched and went stiff like he'd seen something he shouldn't have. A second later, all colors ran off his face. Sinclair? What's the matter? This reminds me of something I learned in school. You draw a picture in the corner of a stack of notes, or thick book in the exact same spot on every page. You start with the arms down, make one small change on each page, nudge your arms up higher and higher, until they're raised all the way up. When you flip the pages fast enough, the drawings stop looking like separate images. The still figure starts moving. That class was called Introduction to Motion Pictures. I remember the teacher saying that video footage we watch are all made the same way. Are you saying that this is...
It's a continuous sequence of still images.
The arrangement of the frame suggests that this film strip is highly likely to constitute footage, a violation of N-Corp's taboo. Uh-oh, stinky! La 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 poopy, stinky poopy. Taboo. Clear within 10 terms.
Okay, KO.
Well, last time actually we did okay. So select you, go you, going. Yeah, alright, yeah. See, I would pay $11 billion for that kind of company, though. Oh, crap. As soon as I registered Marisol's words, my hands reflectively threw the film to the ground. Are you gonna be okay? Well, I just broke the taboo. My mind began to race, rapidly traveling back through our journey, specifically to the time when Don Quixote had smashed that window at K-Corp, caused the wing to wipe out our team multiple times over. I felt faint. I was getting Virgilius with us then, and it ended up being not that big of a deal at the end of the day, since I could revive the sinners, but some nest taboos can get us in serious trouble just for carrying anything that has to do with them. Can't they hurriedly... I hurriedly turned toward the sinners, many of whom looked every bit as troubled as I felt. Still, a few of them expressed a casual look of concern, citing all the crazy things we've gone through so far. Kim Ji Hoon dips into the chocolate. Hello, fellow Vivian. Hello, Avian. Hello, fellow Avian. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Miss Faust, what happens if this gets the magic killed? Okay. So this is,
Stop freaking out, guys. They're not dying. Be fine. Ingram's not gonna kill you in the spot just for possessing a film roll.
Really?
Well, it might be a problem the film roll does contain genuine recorded footage, but it's not like you guys had a hand in filming it, right? When N-Corp dudes get here to pick it up, just comply with the commands. Think of it the service and nicely handed over to the authorities, and everything should be A-okay.
There's a possibility that everything will not be okay. Because I have developed the contents of that film roll in that dark room.
Oh.
The court will take the lack of intentionality into consideration. However, it is very likely that my actions will be deemed as aiding the primary violator of the taboo.
Really? But team leaders said that N-Corp has their own regulatory standards regarding image quality, which they use to determine the severity of taboo violation. If the footage image quality or frame rate is within regulations, NCorp won't be sizing their fixtures on our butts right away. That could buy us time or give the company some leverage to make a deal, however small it might be. Because what they're really sniffing around for is how close to reality the video is, or how close of an experience it provides to real life. So even if we're really, really unlucky and they actually come after us, it's gonna be fine as long as the footage is low fidelity. Proudly.
So, what exactly does frame rate within regulations entail?
It means that the interval between each frame should be like super brief. Think about photo slideshows. They only show you one image every few seconds. So it doesn't feel real or vivid, right? You can technically call them motion pictures, but there's no vividness required to violate the taboo.
And let us analyze this film roll and see how vivid it really is. Very so, I trust that you are knowledgeable subjects concerning NCorp, yes? Cooperate! Could this film roll be considered a violation of the taboo?
Otis picked up the film from the ground and showed it to Meru. That cannot be determined, unless each frame is thoroughly analyzed and compared with adjacent. Without waiting for Meru to finish, Otis unrolled the film roll and raised it against the sky.
The rest of you, get over here! We must analyze these frames! The film canister was labeled experiment, so I must assume the culprit had created this as a test run of sorts. An experiment to see how close they could get to violating the taboo and testing the limits of the law. It may even be a mere collection of similar photographs that are pretending to be recorded footage.
The sinners all gathered around Otis and looked up toward the unrolled film in unison.
Here, the flower pot moves between frames, doesn't it? The docugrapher couldn't possibly have moved the pot while also holding the shutter button.
I don't see any difference. See how the expression written on the subject's visage appears rather stiff.
Maybe they're just a gloomy sort.
Perhaps. Yet, observe closer. The stiffness arises not from gloom, but from strain to maintain it.
Oh! If that's the case, maybe the subject really is trying to fake an actual footage by moving very slowly.
That's a pretty convincing theory, but I'm not sure that's enough to conclude that we're in the clear just yet. That's when bamboo-headed Kim, who had been sprawled on the ground ever since Urza punched him, stepped into the conversation.
Let's see. Look at the shadows casting the window still. See how it noticeably shifts between each frame? Whoever made this knows the craft for sure. But I can't imagine a backstreet dweller would have any way to mesh with the sun's trajectory.
Then the likely scenario must be that the creator of this film roll deliberately made its subject move very slowly from the frame to frame, creating a series of disconnected photos that, when played sequentially, would look like footage that violates the taboo. In which case, this film roll does not violate the Nest taboo, correct?
That is highly probable.
So he says, executive manager, we should be in the clear for now, at least in regards to aiding the violation of a Wings taboo. But if he was willing to go through this much trouble just to test NCorp's patience, it's hard to believe that he'd have stopped here. Based on all available evidence, executive manager, it seems reasonable to conclude that the inflection point of this case is a taboo violator on the run.
Huh? But what motive would they have to do that? Sure, working on it for a wings judiciary, which has nothing on being an actual wing employee, but it's still pretty up there when it comes to careers available in the back streets. Work for a judiciary long enough, and you might even get transferred to a factory job in the nest. That gives you a pretty okay chance at a better life, so.
Maybe he was just tired of living that kind of life. Everyone has one of those days, don't they? The sudden feeling that you could be doing more than live the rest of your life in 9-to-5 hell. The drive to do something that takes you away from the pressure of trying to make a life. Something about what Ishmael said must have tickled bamboo-headed Kim, because he suddenly whipped around toward her and shook his head.
Maybe. But how many of those people do you think are capable of throwing away everything they've built on a whim? From what I've seen, maybe our culprit just likes to play with fire.
Play with fire?
Yeah. Wants to start by doing something that technically doesn't count as a taboo. Finished on, till till he brushed thrillingly close to one. One thrilling shot through this camera, and another with the next. Till eventually, it recorded actual footage.
Cool. That leaves the question of, what the heck was he trying to do with it?
I've been trying to screen it using the projector for all this part of the back streets to see.
What? But wouldn't that make everyone here, even those who unwittingly came across the projection?
Right on. And I've made those folks violators of the taboo.
But why would anyone... So, would you care to explain how you know that, Mr. Bread Brain?
I asked around on the opposite street, and apparently, some guy's been going around asking the workshops if they could make him a projector. Seems like most of them turned him down. They also said he stopped showing up after a certain point. Fair to guess that he got his hands on a projector somehow.
Alas, it is not a taboo of T and Corp to view recorded videos. Pray tell, why would any insane mind?
Well, it ain't taboo if you only made a projector, innit? Factory blokes down for anything long as a coin.
Huh. So how do we track this guy down?
Multiply. Multiple individuals in the same garb as the Pinframe team have just been identified in the vicinity. They are all carrying the same briefcase.
Oh, well, isn't that convenient? Maybe you can play this like a festival or convention and just tell people who look like they're involved with what we're looking for, so they'll lead us to wherever we need to go.
Indeed. At architecture conventions, there would be those in the form of play charts and suspenders milling about, and I could always trust them to lead me to the convention venue.
And was it common for those paid shirt fellas to look around like they're scanning the area? Did they also go around checking people against photographs?
Alright, collect evidence. Please, advise.
They also radio each other, glaring at people like they're glaring at. Huh.
Perhaps you could answer that series of queries yourself.
Nope, this crowd sure doesn't look like they're gonna let us follow them.
Fight, fight, fight.
I do not remember the sweepers sounding this annoying. But okay.
No, Ishmael, oh my gosh. Why'd you fail your class, you stupid bitch?
Babies are just kind of like almost have souls, but not yet. So if a baby dies, like,
What did you call my babies now?
Your baby?
well, if you have too many kids, you
Which
need
one's your
one.
baby now?
They're
The
just like,
sweepers?
what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I can't help it that I can't help it that one of your sweeper buddies has a really like loud, deep voice that is incredibly annoying. Blame them for being born that way.
수고 많으셨어요.
Uh-oh. Struggling, that's no good.
모든 집 놓으셨으니 그 끝에 고요한
Unopposed? Oh, that's no. Oh, well. I don't got much of a choice, do we now?
Bruh.
You know, I was actually kind of hoping that bro would lose the clash, so we could use Claim Thy Bones. But oh well. So we okay, so actually him failing the coin flip actually gives him a higher thing. That's interesting. You know, there's a YouTuber I subscribe to, and they said they were gonna use like a BL team. And the first thing that came to my mind is like, a BL team? Boys love? What do you mean a boy love team? Oh no. Blade lineage. Oh, not boys love. Oopsie. Hopeless. Uh-oh. Wait, why is everyone okay? What is what is you clashing, girl? They're clashing that one and that's hopeless. Well, can we change that? No. Sad face. No. Meru saw on Heathcliff only team. Damn. That sounds intense. That's not gonna work. So I should probably have you guys like attack these guys. I read their fanfic. Base. I think I know exactly what fanfic you're talking about too, for better or for worse. The music here is not bad too. So is this like the same N Corp that's with like Herman? Is that why these guys are immediately attacking us? I mean, well, then they aren't the people that did commission us to take on this quest either. Way to go, Ishmael. I'm doing 0 damage.
Way to go, Paul.
Oh, they're gonna. They're trying to find the taboo violator. But wait, why are we killing them though? So all the fights are just misunderstandings. Okay. So we're just killing a bunch of guys that are trying to do their job. We've at least like killed 40 of them. They're just trying to do their job, Lamau. Well, maybe you should have maybe you should have had a better job. Not bad Tibby's melody damage. Oh, that's cool. I like that attack. Alright, 5 turns in. We're doing alright. Faust. Do we have enough? We do not have enough. We need 1 more green. We don't even need to use it though. And yeah, okay. I could actually use Man and Scabbard for Greg, but I don't think we're gonna get uses out of that because that's a 5-turn ego. Oh, nice. Man, Angdu really had to level up, huh? With those arms, didn't she? Then again, though, I don't think we've seen her fight before until now. Damn. 1 abnormality point away. Ishmael's ID2 is great. Kinda has me a little sad. Because I'm skipping it. It's I shrimp for Ishmael. I would love to have it for Ishmael. But I'm like trying to save my resources for the Rodion and Heathcliff ID. That is related to the spiders, so I can get like the peak Ryoshu team. I wonder how good. I think Ryoshu's team should work well against the boss. I unfortunately don't have enough for them. I'm also trying to get the Heathcliff's middle identity so I can finally beat middle Ricardo, because It's basically impossible on hard mode if you don't have a middle team for the first encounter, which is kind of annoying. The only guy I skipped is AEDD. AEDD. Who or what is AEDD? Go to U60. 60. Based friend. Oh, Greg. Oh, AEDD Greg. I don't remember. Is that the lightning one or is that the bird related one? Because I don't have the lightning one either. I also don't have Fulvus Rodion either. I was able to clear hard mode Refractal without without requiring Rodion for that fight. Yeah, Lightning Greg, I don't know. I wasn't into that one either. I got Lamp twice through bad luck. I think I actually, funnily enough, I think I actually got Lamp twice. No, yeah, actually, I did get Lamp twice. I don't know how I got Lamp twice. I know I got one Lamp through the Season 7 10-pull ticket, and then I got Otis through his 10-pull ticket. I was Shard Meru Ego. Once it becomes shardable, fair. Maybe I should probably pick it up too, because I assume it's just good for any bleed team. But I'm also... Shards is different from, like, yeah, inspiration, or whatever you would call it. So for me, I'm trying to, like, voice act all the side stories at one point. Well, yeah, I'm going through it, like, day by day, bit by bit. But since I intend to voice act every side story, I need access to the side story. Thus, I need to get every single ID I own to, like, tier 3. So I've been spinning all of the, what's it called, the threads? I don't remember what's called, but the thingies, so that way I can get all the IDs the tier 3 so I can read their side stories, and then I can eventually make vids about them. Oh. I mean, I could turn shards into those, but that's not worth it. Not necessary. Wiki. Yeah, but it's not as, like... It's not as cool. See, that's free, but it just doesn't hit the vibe the same. Doesn't make a good recording experience. How about that? That's a better way to put it. It does not make a good recording experience if I go to the wiki and I just start reading out lines on the wiki. Faust says, reading from the wiki to read all the lore about the side stories about all the mirror worlds is quite cringe. In fact, one could even say it is gay, perhaps even homosexual. It all depends on the mirror world. Did you know that there is a mirror world where women aren't objects? Isn't that crazy? Sure is a good thing that this Faust is not from that mirror world. Imagine. Or do we have to imagine though? Or are we already living in the mirror world where women are objects? Yeah, this song's pretty good too. I wouldn't listen to my off time though. Oh, very nice, Mercedes. Oh, nice. So if she gets a kill with that attack, does that mean she gets to do another attack? Man, she's powerful. If this is their way of trying to convince me for the pull of that HML ID, they're doing a pretty good job. They're getting me interested, man. I don't think that, like, the trailer on the PM channel did a good enough job of showcasing just kind of like how flashy your skills were. They did not seem that flashy. They actually seemed quite dull in comparison to spiders. But like, I don't know, seeing her attack in game, it does seem pretty fancy. She does seem pretty fancy. Alright, we do not need like 3 people attacking that, bro. Maybe 2. You attack that. A burn ID for both Meru, Ego, and Ish. I excited a burn ID for both Meru, Ego, and Ish that has burn. Huh? They have wrath and no lust. Oh, is that a good thing? Is there a lot of egos that are burn related that don't use lust? Or is there a lot of burn egos that have lust when they don't have egos for lust? Is that what I'm understanding? Nice! Man, I did not know Night Owl Greg was actually that good. Mirror Dungeon, see, he seems to underperform. This though, he's doing pretty good. Okay, 3 people attack. Perhaps even 4. And then 3 people attack here, and then we're Gucci. Breath is burn, mainly. Lust is bleed. Okay. Go! Yes! Leangdu! Go, Queen! See, I heard on Twitter that if you have more than like 20 announcers, you're insane. I hope to be part of that group one day. I don't think I have over 20 announcers. Oh, that was just a combat scene? Is this another combat scene? Is there dialogue too? Let's see. There's no distinct way to tell. Very so. Blade lineage. Sam. No blade lineage. I guess we'll use you because you have you have the ego on, so you're probably from the same guy. Me assumes. Oddly a challenge. What the WOD? Ugh. Well, at least there's not much of a fighter one-on-one. Service de Glace is not a combat specialist department, but they have all undergone basic combat training for exigent circumstances. They are not prepared for head-on conflicts such as this. Yeah, I noticed. They kept taking pictures of us with the briefcases. I guess that's the primary job description. What are they snapping away for then? We're just buying our bags like a load of creeps. Collecting photos to include in the report for their higher-ups, I'd wager. I can kind of see how they could think we're involved in this somehow. Every time they follow the lead, they end up encountering us. It's hardly surprising rationale. Mariso stood a footstep away from the rest of the sinners, and watched in silence as they try to come up with an explanation. What is he thinking? What is it that he wishes to say? Or is he simply contemplating, observing without any preconceived notions in his mind? His silence shouldn't have been any different from his usual reticence, as though by some chance or whim. Hey, Mariso! I was struck by this sense of brief yet distinct strangeness. I was compelled to speak with him. Yes, manager. Don't hesitate to let me know if there's something you want to say, but aren't sure if you're supposed to say it. Yes, manager. I will do as you ordered, should one such circumstance occur. As always, his reply was as deflatingly concise and direct, as though he had some rule of his own that told him this was the specific response for situations like these. Okay. I'll talk about right now, actually. Do you have anything to say right now? No, I do not. It did not appear to me that he was trying to hide anything or choose his words in response to my question. His reply was simply that, an answer. Nothing more. Yes, a prepared answer, written down in his list of responses. That's what it's felt like to me, as though this particular answer had always been the one yet available for situations like these. Clearly prodding him for answers wasn't going to get me anywhere, so, with a curt, sure if you say so, I turned away from him and took off to join the other sinners. As I did so, a few words lingered at the tip of my proverbial tongue as to be let out, so I did. Would have been nice to know what you were looking at. Of that. He spoke. I cannot form a judgment. What? That is because the precise definition and nature of the subject of my gaze are just as unknown to me as to you. Should you point to an object or an enemy, I can provide a verbal explanation based on my current knowledge. If you require such information, please rephrase your question accordingly. I asked him again then, and I tried to get to the bottom of that line of questioning. But I found myself the smallest beacon of Marisol's psyche, which had remained entirely shrouded in mystery even after an entire year of traveling together. Suppose that's not up for me to judge as well. Medja. Yeah? Another battle is imminent, as you have previously instructed. I've informed you of an imminent battle.
Yo, boss clock! Are you gonna sit there all day while we do all the fighting? They're pouring out that building over there.
So, they must have been on their way to that building. Our path seems, a path ahead seems clear. You have to manager. Let's neutralize those foes and head up there.
Gotcha, I'll be right there. The brief lull of battle came to a close. And battling enemies who had arrived precisely at the time Mariso had predicted, we made our way into the building. Bloody hell! Them blokes we fought downstairs must have been the weaker ones of the bunch. Oh, interesting. They just got off. Bro just has an office chair. Okay, then. Bro just took a picture of an office chair and put it there. Mariso's like an AI. No, I don't even ChatGPT has like more personality. Like even like was it ChatGPT 5? They had 4, which had like extreme personality that people gave, and then they had 5, which had like a dull personality but still had kind of had one. Maybe he's like, I guess he's like GPT 5.
How does N-Corp have so many guys on their payroll? There's no end to them.
Haha! It is a wing, after all. Are these the taboo violators? Are those the culprits licked alone? No, I'm quite certain they're the ones with the subsequent reports.
The N-Corp fixers appeared just as confused as we were. It was clear to me that they were expecting to find the taboo violator here. Not a big group of a dozen or so people.
What were they thinking? Sending fodder like us to deal with an organized taboo violation? They should have sent taboo hunters here instead. What do you think they told us to consume can't experience contain mass melee combat? They must have thought of our current manpower would suffice to deal with this. I don't know about that. Wait, wasn't an extra report? And one of them's,
All of a sudden, the click of the room began to buzz with the metallic whirl of some kind of machinery. And immediately, I could tell what it was. Distortion. Standing in the middle of the shabby room was a device I wasn't sure if I had seen before. Its exterior was plastered with strange shapes that looked similar to what we saw on the Chinokun's face in our early battles, making it difficult to grasp its full shape. The round object affixed to it began to rotate slowly, with a dull, worn-out groan of a thing past its prime.
Man! Shield your eyes!
The moment it began to emit a faint ray of light, Otis thundered in a commanding voice. I quickly turned away as well, making sure not to catch a glimpse of it.
The device could be playing a recorded video. Executive Manager, even a brief look at that, even a brief look at it could constitute a taboo violation.
Shit! I saw that. I'm so finished. Just as panic began creeping into the voices of several unlucky individuals.
oh man, folks, this is starting to get a little embarrassing.
A sleepy voice breaks through the darkness past my, metaphorically speaking, shut eyes.
Mentor? Eyes open, Angdu. What's wrong with everyone? Got dust in your eyes?
The hell's wrong with you? Don't you know that anyone who watches even a split second of recorded video in N-Corp gets...
Of course I know. But I watched it anyway. Open your eyes, esteemed fellows. This motion picture isn't recorded.
Hang on. He's right. That video's not recording. Possibly emboldened by Kim's comment, or perhaps believing that seeing the video could be excused as incidental exposure incurred while subduing violators, the N-Corp employees also opened their eyes and began to mutter amongst themselves.
Is that they talking to us?
I finally allowed myself a good look at the machine, which was firing a conical beam of light against the side of the wall. And this was its message, delivered via white words on a black background. So you've tracked me down this far. After what I went through, to take refuge in here, they still end up fighting this place. All of you blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience, without even a care about the real thing. Case number DC-3224. You are under suspicion of a Category 3 violation. Reveal yourself now and forfeit your illegal recordings. Should you comply, we will... What? Is foolery but witless buffoonery. In the absence of fools. The hallowed vessel. Bereft of all lingering delusions. Grants not even a brew of echo to the dogged excoriation of tools. What's this really on about? If you mean to extract our deficient duties, we won't have to use foot. Oh. Without even so much as turning around, Bamboo-headed Kim raised a sword and parried away the N-Corp employee's nail-shaped weapon. I'm only speaking as my whim guides me. My dear fellows, no need to get so huffy. I only aim to say that this abomination has no consciousness. After what I went through to take refuge in here, you still ended up fighting this place. All of you blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience, without even a care about the real thing.
It's repeating the same sentences over and over again.
Now that does make me wonder. Was I just as far gone when I distorted? Past all words and reason? I mean, if anyone has an answer to that question, it'd be you folks, right? Kim said nothing more. He turned a piercing look on us, all the while effortlessly swatting away the N-Corp employee's attacks, as though he was goading us into telling him the truth. Well, don't suppose there's any point in asking. I am no different from this abomination. Just as I wield that contraption, I must have wielded the only thing I have really known. The blade. Transformed into a mindless fiend consumed by a mere tool, leaving through both friend and foe, unrestrained. Hey, Junior, are you still on about that? I tried to avert my eyes. I truly did. But such disregard is easier said than done. How can I, when that distorted being has no qualm showing me the... Doesn't he know how rude the unsolicited reflecting of the phantoms of one heart is? It's gonna be illegal or something. Illegal, I say. You're a customer to a thug on a projection racket run, mirror before a car motion to a swerving driver, conjuring dead followers before the eyes of the mentor. Simply unconscionable. Rude as hell, as some might say. My poor heart almost burned on my chest courtesy of you. In that split second, I think I saw Mariso's eyebrows twitch. Alberto's imminent manager. Just a natural response to sensing an imminent battle, perhaps. Whoop! A blinding flash followed by an explosive bang. My vision immediately went white and decided to take its damn time coming back. When it did, the person that came into view was a particularly unsettling landscape of S-Corp, followed by Bamboo-headed Kim surrounded by a small army of Chunokun. Mentor! Keep that up, and you'll shout me death. Undo. Isn't it about time we both grew accustomed to such sights? Mentor, still do I wake from these dreams drenched in cold sweat. But they might bind and drag you away. Isn't so bad, is it? It's just these folks so far, and like earlier went another flash. What was there? Everything we did. Now I don't understand what's happening. But first things first, we have to neutralize everyone here and get our mission back on track. Adjusting projection. Hey, I've been straying far and wandering all day for this exact reason. And so that was its mechanism. Faust? The words began to shift rapidly before I had the chance to ask Valis what she had meant. "To the one who finds comfort settling in lies, I give you what most deserved your gaze." Boop. Oh.
Bollocks! I'll be blind before today's over at this rate.
Changed.
You did?
Unlike the earlier instance, one of the distortions is different from the others. As Meru so identified, there was something different about the group of Chinookans this time. They were accompanied by someone else. A warrior in impressive armor, wielding a sword that was just as tall.
Good armor.
The great Huan Dao of the Sile Sickle.
To be united in such a manner.
Huh? The warrior drew a bow that hung from the waistguard and knocked an arrow.
I suppose this is how it would have gone down, had you been the one to grab me. Military commission, I'm Gyeong off. How do you fare, friend?
At the signal, arrows loosing. Seize the accused. The warrior loosened the knocked arrow, which soared to the sky with a piercing whistle. And with that air-splitting sound as the Chinookun began to swarm us. Oh my. That's a lot of health. And we don't really got a choice, but for real struggle, huh? Well, we got Urza and Angdu with us, so we should be okay. Do we have Bamboo had a kid with us? I wonder.
단테님은 매번 기발한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
Mariso, you have your fucking skill 3, bruv, and you lost. Suck my ass. Bing, bing. Alright, this boss battle theme, it's alright. I actually don't like it in comparison to, like, the main theme. In comparison to just, like, fighting the base enemies theme, I guess. What do you want to call it? The basic battle theme. I like the basic battle theme more than this. Oh yeah, this person's supposed to be a woman. I didn't give it a female voice. Whoopsie daisy.
How misogynistic.
Oh, hopeless. Well, that's no good. Don't got much of a choice though, do we? Damn, Urza got like 18,000 health. Alright, see you later, Relol. I hope you have a good one. Thanks for joining me, gamer. I wonder if having the spiders would have actually worked pretty good here. Probably. Damn. Hey, welcome in, Migu. I hope you're doing great. Beer company, yeah. I think we're somewhere near the end. Mariso took off his hat and bro's still hopeless. Good way to go, Mariso. Wait, he's branded. I think. What does that mean? Oh, welcome to the Vampire Army, Migu. New. What is this? Base stack 3. Fix the speed unit. Fix this unit speed to 0 to 1. Fix this unit's base skill powering. Oh. Oh, no wonder why he keeps losing his clashes because of that. So is that just what happens when anyone's hit by like that specific move? What does Ang do? Angdu and you. What are you attacking? This should be okay. Probably, maybe, hopefully. Who knows? I might actually have to select a real team for this. Instead of just trying to go for like a kind of a half-built Bleed team with Blade lineage people so I can get the extra resources. Hey, yo! Okay, alright, I'm digging this. I could enjoy some Mandarin while the song's going hard. Well, I would also enjoy if we stopped losing our clashes, preferably. Okay, Urza gave us Sandy back. Very cool, thanks. Oh my, that hurt. Alright, Faust, we gotta check out if you have enough to use your ego. Oh, okay. Do you have any tips for me? I just started. Alright, so... Okay, so... Might seem kind of wild, but I would actually kind of suggest for you to save up on resources. So, until you have, like, till more, like, near the end. It's quite hard to say, but basically, since we're near the end of the Kanto, it's going to be quite hard to build up a, like, Kanto 17. I mean, a Season 17. Basically, for Season 6, there's, like, a Haisho Pack team. Season 7, there's a Spider team. Season 8, we don't know what that's going to be called yet, but basically, the pattern so far is that you want units that are the same team. So if you already have like a couple of Haisho Pack units, just continue to build in a specific team that's Haisho Pack related. Or even Spider units, if you have a bunch of those, you do that too. And then, I don't know, I would suggest waiting up until there's going to be like more Season 8 related identities. There might be 2 related right before Season 8 happens. And Season 8 is going to be related to this guy here, Meru. So basically, eventually, there's going to be this thing called a capstone identity, aka a Baden identity, which is going to just basically be like the most powerful identity of the season, and it's going to very likely make usage of like the other identities released throughout the season. So for instance, here we got Spider Lu and we have Spider Faust. These two together are teamed very well. Then I also have Spider Ryoshu, and Spider Ryoshu's mechanic as a capstone identity and Baden identity is that she gammons these two to then basically get like a passive bonus to all her attacks and then do a whole bunch of damage. Haisho Pack team, so Ryoshu kills everybody, gets bonuses. Haisho Pack team, the more Haisho Packs you have, they get bonuses. Meru, we don't know what that's going to be yet, but I don't know. And because it's a gacha game, there's always power scaling. So the later the season of identity you get, the easier a time you're gonna have in like early game. So if you got like, even if you were going to go for all the Spider identities, or as much as you can, you would have you would have a very, very easy time, or a slightly easier time even in comparison to the Haisho team. So, yeah. This is fine. Is Angdu only able to target that? No, we can also target that, but I don't think the game wants us to, so I guess we won't. Alright then, that's fine. Time to play a game. Oh yeah, I was gonna check if Faust could use her ego. Also, most egos are not meant for damage. They're mainly meant for, like, using their passives. Like the ego itself, most egos themselves are not meant for damage. There's very few egos where they actually do a lot of damage. So it's just very important anytime you get an ego to like read into it to see what it does. To see whether you use it to get like the passive bonus after using it, or like see what it does after you use it and how it affects the enemy. And again, no, there is a couple that are damage related too. But very few. I'd say it's probably like every 1 in 6 egos are damage related. Okay, so let's all target this. Methinks. Let's just use all our skills. Should we use our skill? No, we probably don't want to use our skill 3s on it, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm not going to use my skill 3s. Because I bet you as soon as we destroy that thing, it's going to send us into, like, the other world again. We're going to have to fight against that really tanky boss. That's what me thinks, at least. When do you do live streams? I usually try and stream at like usually at like 2 p.m. That's when I try and go live every day. Not guaranteed because I'm employed. And I unfortunately I have a family. My family, they love me, they want my attention. So yeah. Usually if I'm on a good day, I can usually start at noon, Central Standard Time. On a like late-ish day, I can usually start sometime around like 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Alright, yeah, like I thought. It's gonna put us against like this boss again. I thought so. How right I was. Where's Faust? There's Faust. I'm actually gonna use Faust. Okay, never mind. I can't. I was gonna use the one singular healing ego I have on this team, but she can't. So we're just gonna have to cope. Yeah, I play Olympus Company whenever there's content for it. Right now I'm in a Destiny phase, and I'm also playing Minecraft with the homie femboy Alexis. Damn, this song go hard though. I'm excited for them to release this OST. Or his intervallo. Femboy? Yeah, yeah, he's the local femboy. The femboy. Some people categorize me as a femboy too, but I'm not so much femme. I'm more boy. Hey, let's go closing time. Damn, Daniel. Oh, let's go. We got fast now. Okay. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of things that come up whenever you say anything. Alright, hold on. Coincidentally, I am being asked for help. I'm gonna do a win rate, and then I'll be back as soon as I can.
짜증나는 시선이 늘었고 앞으로 한 번만 더 기분 나쁜 눈빛으로 내 검을 힐끔힐끔 쳐다보면 그때 예외 없이 모분다.
Sorry, I'm back. Could you add me? Yeah, absolutely. I can add you. What is it? I wonder if I don't think I have anything Limbus Company. I'm trying to remember. If I type in exclamation mark of Limbus, does anything come up? Oh, hey, it does. Hey, look, there it is. All right, just copy that, and we can add each other on Limbusi now. You can go, feel free to use whatever I have. I got up and moved an item. Okay, so we have to attack the projector again? Oh, okay then. Alright, you want to happen to have anything healing related on you? Okay, actually, that thing has a lot of weights. Go to here. Go to here. When used for the first time in the encounter, consume 50%, 15 less SP. If Lady Legion enter, assume one if you're a wrath for an ego envy source. If you just gain drink to the fall under his encounter. Alright, you know what? Let's use this ego. Faust. Shit. Wait, if I get rid of that? Okay. Faust can actually heal if I use this, so I'm gonna do that instead. Instead of using the funny Mariso ego. I think it said we just have to clear this in 15 turns, so we should be able to do it in time. Unfortunately, this is from the Arknights collab, which may or may not never come back. The current hypothesis is that there will never be another Arknights collab with Limbus Company, so you'll never be able to get that ego. I somehow got really lucky and got all 4 egos. Mom's car, bloom bloom. Get out of me car! Aww. Alright, at least we're healing though, a little bit now. We're Meru show, what is bro attacking? Okay. Someone else just take that for him, thank you. Alright, let's do this and see how this works out. Alright, looks like Angdu is doing all the damage against that. Oh! Okay, it looks like, yeah, alright. Looks like Angdu is just damaging the thing completely. And she put us into the second phase before I even had a chance for any of my characters to attack. Am I gonna be able to clear this within 12 turns? I mean, 15 turns? I might have to redo this. Just so I can get all the bonus resources. Unless the encounter ends when I get rid of the guy's shield. Or something else. Seeing as the music is hitting different now, we must be getting close to the end of the encounter. Ouch! Welcome back. Damn, Ishmael does not do any damage with that skill 3. No wonder why I was told that she's niche. Uh-oh. Isn't that gonna, like, delete him? No, okay, that did not delete him. That's good. Who are you shooting? Who would you stun?
이런
Oh dear.
제압은 회사에겐
Uh-oh.
효율적일지는 몰라도 직원들의 희생이 항상 뒤따르는
Okay.
일이지.
Okay.
그 희생을 값싼 대가로 여기는 게 아니라
All right, great. We can all use egos, so instead of everyone having a hopeless, we can actually win.
적이 그런
Very cool.
관리자는
I will accept your invite as soon as I can. Probably after this fight. All right, I'm hoping and coping that it is after getting this guy's shield down that we win the encounter. Good damage, Faust. I'm hoping that my Ishmael ego would be able to do the rest of the damage. Or, well, okay, never mind. Looks like I didn't need to do that.
I shall set my form array. Just a little more, and I think we might be able to smash that dang thing to smithereens. But yeah, let's really have to focus on one thing with that huge warrior zapping in and out of reality as soon as we make ourselves an opening. It'd make our lives a whole lot easier if we could get rid of just one of them. The battle seemed to be taking a toll on the sinners, more so than usual. It wasn't that we were up against an insurmountable foe. Not even close. Not to mention how Urza and Angdu were here to help us out. But...
Shite! Haven't they had enough? About time to give up, innit? Why don't you go legging it again? That big sword gearing fella sure is kicking our butts. I don't know if we're the key to solving this distortion. We ain't exactly flesh with options, are we? Our eggs are plugged and it ain't like we can stop and fight the stretch eyes. With the battlefield constantly shifting and flashing between N Corp and S Corp, we simply did not have the breathing room to focus on either the Projector or Yamgongya, who was swinging that grapple with frightening force. Besides,
Angdu, go cover his back too. It shall be done.
N Corp was sending far too many people against us. There weren't that many at first, but it seemed that the sudden spike in employee casualties in an area so close to the nest had alerted N Corp to our location. How do we get out of this? Faust, Notice, help me out of here. I decided to stop racking my brain trying to navigate a situation I know so little about, and instead rely on the sinners with possibly more experience in the field. First, I need to know if there's any way we can deal with the endless reinforcements N Corp is sending after us. And second, will defeating Mgyongop or destroying the projector bring an end to this distortion phenomena?
If I may speak freely, Executive Manager, it is unlikely that our present force will be sufficient to overcome the current rate.
Yo, I'll have a Brazilian friend when I accept the invite. Let's go, my first Brazilian friend. Yes! Yes!
Not only is this battlefield situated in close proximity to the enemy's stronghold, there's an unpredictable variant in that strange machine that makes neutralizing even a single wave of enemies difficult. I regret to be the bearer of bad news, but we are trapped in the battlefield with but a single exit, which the enemies have already blocked. Without reinforcements of our own, there is little hope of revealing through this current predicament.
Yeah, seems that way to me too. But maybe if we can neutralize the distortion phenomenon, at the very least.
Faust recommends entering the Dungeon of the Fathoms as our exit.
Dungeon of the Fathoms? But how can I enter if we can't even talk to the distortion? Wait, maybe. They're in the LCP regular checkup back at the LCE.
He says that all you have to do is read what's on that note in front of the distortion.
Apparently this is some kind of a code?
Right, keywords!
This one seems to be a location type distortion, which means that regardless of where that bright, where the bright flashes takes us, N Corp or the twisted caricature of S Corp, we're still within its range. In other words, as long as I have the right keywords, I can summon an entrance to his dungeon of the Fathoms from anywhere within it. Oh, okay. So what are the keywords for this distortion then? Hohenheim had provided us the necessary keywords for his distortion back then, but this time we had to figure it out on our own. First things first, one of them has to be photographed. It's obviously been present throughout the entire phenomenon.
If I may, perhaps experience may be one of them.
He sang, put his 2 cents in, having briefly retreated from battle to the back lines.
There is an undercurrent of obsession with experiences, seen in his every trail. It must have aught in relation to what has caused this distortion. You're gonna be my first friend in another country. Hell yeah, let's go!
Experience. The concept alone lacks substance. It must be something more grounded. Something that is at once synonymous with experience while maintaining a thorough line to NCorp's technology that was the core of this obsession. Can't experience. Most likely. Thanks, Faust.
Alright then. Photograph. Can't experience.
Not. Seems to transpire as of yet.
It didn't, but I could feel it. Are these the kinds of photographs they use to make can't experience? So that's what that strange sensation was. Mentioning that word shook the distortion and caused that rippling effect. But it was clearly not enough to force open the dungeon of the Fathoms. How many other keywords could there be?
Traps. Sorry?
No. I thought we were all taking turns sharing what might have caused him to distort. And by the way, you folks were saying your piece one after another. I thought this hat was to be some sort of Zen riddle.
Not a Zen riddle, no. Where'd scraps come from?
See, when enjoying the benefits of slacking off at work, all kinds of mundanities come to possess far more interesting qualities. Sometimes even revealing secrets invisible to eyes focused everywhere. Take our person of interest, to wit. He has been poking around this area town with an eye-wateringly expensive camera and towel. So conspicuously that every store owner I had lightly prodded for information had tales to tell about him. Each tale added another facet to the long saga of a once-driven man. A man with a can-do attitude, an uncanny ability to pull himself up by his bone bootstraps, and a clear path towards Nest residence, becomes so bewitched by photography that he eventually squandered his fortune on what was, in the end, nothing more than a pastime. And that went on until he found himself reduced to a pauper, barely making residence scrap heap of an apartment.
And the first one interacted with hell yeah.
In pursuit of his ideality, the man has lost grip of fortune and reality.
I sought out his apartment and found a few scraps of his writing. When cold rain drips through the roof, when mold and tepid humidity together encroach from the earth, the mind begins to wander, lost. Eventually, madness is evoked into form, indistinguishable from drunkenness. The pauper loses himself.
A shadow darker than any I had seen on Kim's face crept beneath the shade of his eyes. No, I'd seen that look once in the past. Though it would be more accurate to say that I had heard it in his voice that echoed in his fathoms, distorted by guilt and regret. Perhaps I should be surprised with the fact that this distortion has, among the countless people here, taken a particular interest in bamboo-headed Kim. Photograph, can't experience, and scraps. Like inserting a final piece of the puzzle, the space before us momentarily warped and flashed, opening a pathway to the distortion's fathoms. Well then.
We will be right behind you, Except Imagine.
Miss Urza, this is what I had seen then. The gateway to one's fathoms.
Huh? So this is it, huh?
Neat stuff. But,
before she could finish, Urza had to redirect her focus from our discussion back to the battle. Most of the sinners were caught in the same predicament. Some managed to disengage from the battle and prepare to enter the dungeon of the Fathoms. But Hong Lu, Gregor, and several others were still busy holding off the NCorp employees.
We're gonna follow us right in there. We run now, right? Probably. Even those who aren't changed Dante like we are can travel through the pathway once it's open, so...
Yeah, let's not drive ourselves into an even narrower corner.
I'll keep them at bay.
Hearing that, bamboo-headed Kim stepped up.
My short arm's not what it once was, but it should be enough for this. Besides, I've a little wish to set foot in some almond place to be tangled in such a bizarre mess.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Is that really what he thinks? There was something in his eyes that led me to believe this was about more than just staying behind to protect our rear. He was... What the fuck?
What a terrible friend. At least try to pretend to be sincere and make it easy for us to believe you. Did you think that terrible excuse was going to play? What are you trying to avoid, sword swinger? You're not some kid trying to get out of doing his homework. I remember hearing that entering the Dungeon of the Fathoms will bring one to the spiritual fathoms the distortion is gazing into. Then what lies within must be my very own, for that is what the abomination is gazing into.
It's decided then. You're coming with us. We ain't about to walk in blind to a place we know shite about, mate. Guys in there, yeah?
My first thing I hear is what the fuck? Hell yeah, thank you, Ryoshu. Base girl.
Oh, that's... He keeps it simple. You tried that too. You learned the hard way. That homework, like summer reading, doesn't go away just because you don't look at it. It's still there, even as the summer break comes to an end, ruining the last day of your vacation into an unnectar.
Brother. Aryashiki scabbard. Cheered in agreement.
Stop procrastinating. Go do your summer reading. Whatever was it you said? Face the homework. Save the GPA. Face the sin. Save the ego. It is, after all, the attitude the company expects of its employees. Go, Junior. You guys too, LCB. I can hit them all on my own.
You wanna make a lone stand?
Hey, who the heck do you think I am? I'll show you why Team Leader Moses felt safe sending me out alone with you guys. This was basically a monster of the week situation for Team Leader and me back in our duo days. I can handle them on my own, no problemo. I want to see how you guys handle the inflection point. But I guess you can never really have it all. Oh well, guess I'll just have to trust our two austere team newbies to handle that. Now that I think about it, I think I'm setting a pretty sound example as your team senior, aren't I?
Yeah, I don't like this, but it seems that I have no choice but in the matter as long as this employee card hangs from my chest.
With a sigh, Kim shook his head and joined us, dragging his feet all the while. I shall take the vanguard. Ah, Mentor, be warned that the entrance is floating. Take a tall step over, or you may trip.
I can clearly see that undo. Bring me a ladder if you're really that worried. Why don't you?
Have you need of one?
Mere just. You needn't worry.
악당 배치 성공! 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어. 내일도 꼭 불러주기야.
I know I'm right at the dungeon. But I know I'm right at the dungeon. I'm at like the cliffhanger. But I unfortunately must have to bid adieu. Now add me. Don't worry, I won't forget to add you beforehand. Alright. Okay, Hoglu. Okay, Hoglu. Please, Hoglu, you're scaring me. You're scaring the kids, too. Alright, where do I go again? I think I go... No. Yeah, okay, I go here. Okay, I go here. Damn, you got Middle Heathcliff? Nice. Well, since you got Middle Heathcliff, probably would be a good idea to give yourself... Or get the other mental identities, too. Since, the very gimmick of a middle team is that you kind of need a whole middle team. I am requiring, specifically, Middle Heathcliff. He's like the only one I'm missing. And I need that for, very specifically, the Refractor Railway. Or the reflection, whatever it's called. The reflectoral... Yeah, the reflectoral. Okay, I have enough. And I could get Honglu here, but I'm not going to do it. Well, I mean, I don't have anything else I could spend my stuff on. Not really. That would be anything useful. So probably would be a good idea to get him. Yay, I got Honglu. What does Honglu do for gore? Forget, what does he do? Alright, go to Sinners, go to Bleed Team 2. Where's Honglu? Well, I guess we should swap this Honglu out for the other Honglu so I can take advantage of the bonuses. And then, what was I gonna do? I have such a terrible memory. S-Corp Shunkin. Oh yeah, I was gonna look actually what he does. Okay, so he's Poise Bleed. I thought so. I already have a bleed unit, so I don't really need this one. But I wonder... I have a friend, his favorite singer is Hong Lu. Oh, nice. His favorite singer is Hong... My favorite singer is Ishmael. Ishmael's best girl. I can never get enough of her. That's my favorite. I think I probably like Ishmael the most because probably because she's like the kind of woman that I would actually want to marry the most. Although if I had to probably pick a dude, if I had to pick a dude, who would I actually pick if I had to pick a bro? Damn, it's such a cool. What does this one do again? Playing through this thing makes me interested. All right, she's a bleed and poise though. Poise main, bleed second. I mean, she could actually work for a bleed team, but what's the likelihood of me getting her here? I should save for Walpurgis. Oh yeah, another thing too. There's this thing that comes about every like 3 to 4-ish months called Walpurgis Night, where you can only get there's like very specific identities and egos you can only get from it. Happens once every like 3 or 4 months, and usually the egos and identities are very good. As you can see, I have them all. That's how good it is. I have all of them. Huh. Isn't it interesting? I actually have everything from extraction. What was I saying? Yeah, so anyways, yeah, so I don't know. That's also another idea too. So actually when Walpurgis Night comes around, it's not a bad idea to completely invest in a Walpurgis Night and get a bunch of IDs from there. Okay, but unfortunately, at this note, I will have to end it here. I should hopefully maybe be able to finish the rest of the Intervallo tomorrow. Do I actually... Let me see. I might actually... I think I do just have just enough to uptight this guy. Even though I don't really need to, but I did it. But thank you everyone for coming around. Hope you had a fun time while it lasted. I know I did. Thank you Amigu for following. Thank you Relo for also following. I hope everyone had as good of a time as I did. Again, hopefully maybe I finish this tomorrow, but on that note, I'll see you next time. I feast upon my next victim. Bye bye.